Well, hello, everybody. I am Cutie Roo, SR. You can call me Roo. I am back. I have been gone for a little bit, but now I'm back. Yay! So this is the first show for the new year. So I'm super excited to show off this really cool game, Star Ocean First Departure R, with Midnight Vesper. Midnight Vesper, tell everybody a little about yourself.
Hi, my name is Midnight Vesper. I've been speedrunning this game for about a year, I think, or something else along those lines. What we will be speedrunning today is a remaster of a remake of a game that came out in 1996. Star Ocean was actually... The Super Nintendo version of Star Ocean was actually never actually put in America until Star Ocean First Departure, which was a PSP exclusive, and then they put it onto the PS4 and onto the Switch as well. We will be looking forward to that. Due to some of the tricks we will be doing, there's a small possibility we may have to reset almost immediately afterwards. I kind of hope that doesn't happen.
Cross fingers.
Yeah, it's a very rare thing to where there are situations where the game has to be kind of thrown out of proportion. But this game is very RNG heavy, meaning that there's a lot of situations where you kind of have to work on the fly, do a little bit of improv to figure out what works best for you during that time period. So it's a really cool run. It's a very relaxing run. And if you are really interested in learning more about Star Ocean, this is probably the best way to start. Technically, it is the first in terms of release year, but it's not the first in the series. Star Ocean's weird like that. Anyways, we'll get into it when everyone is ready. I believe everyone is ready now, actually. So let's go ahead and go in 3, 2, 1, go. So we automatically get some cutscenes here, and then we immediately go into our main character. Let's go ahead and look at our skills here. What do we have for Roddick? We are good to go right off the bat. That is fantastic. So we are going to go ahead and go into our switch rooms, turn all of our automatic equip off. And then we're going to go ahead and put Millie and Dorn out of our party for this first part. We're going to go into our formation and change it to escape. And that is all that happens. Now we're going to go over here and pick up the flare bomb. Flare bomb is very important to pick up first for what's going to happen in this first little section. We're going to go over here and talk to Sheena, this first little girl. We're going to go over here, talk to Millie's dad. We are also on the neighborhood watch, and our job is basically to kind of walk around and discuss, or, protect the civilians from what you're going to see here. And that's basically our job right now. We are on a planet called Roke. So we'll get more into that here in a little bit. But the reason why we have Millie and Dorn out of our party is very important because we need the experience here. Let's go. Also, I did forget to say, Stardew Valley was before this, so this is a great little version of Stars. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Okay.
Is this good? Are these good wows?
That's never happened before.
Oh no. I don't know what this is. We already started.
Let's go. So each of these bandits take 2 hits to attack. But again, remember when I was talking about RNG?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So earlier, the RNG is very, very heavily dependent on this speedrun. Kind of reminds me of another game that we used to run together. I wonder what game that is.
Yeah, I wonder what game that is.
If anyone wanted to know, it's Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Another JRPG.
So, hopefully RNG plays in my favor here. So we should be all right, assuming RNG plays my favor. Yay, thank you.
Yay.
And that's where we have the flare bomb right off the bat.
That was way too fast.
So with the flare bomb getting it first, it's the first item in our inventory, which means we don't have to worry about going in and checking out where it is in our inventory. It's just right there and right at the beginning. I was a little worried considering how the bandits really manipulated all of that at the beginning. Because that was that was completely new to where I've gotten that close. Now we're fine now because we've gotten the leveling up, we've gotten the experience. We're going to go ahead and rest here in a little bit. And in the process, because if you know anything about RPGs, when you rest up overnight, you get full health. Here we have a bunch of cutscenes.
Okay, so I do have a quick question. Earlier you were mentioning about having to possibly reset the run in the very beginning. Why would that occur? Like, is it because of RNG factoring into it? But why is the RNG factoring into it?
So, there's a lot of abilities that you're gonna have that you have. And these abilities kind of help dictate what you're gonna have for your character in terms of what your character can do. So we didn't want an ability called Taste.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if we have the ability called Taste, it affects what we have to do earlier, and which is learn how to cook.
Oh, and if you have to learn how to cook, that's gonna slow you down so much. Okay.
Well, if we already know how to cook, it basically is a reset automatically.
Got it.
Because you need that.
Got it.
Also,
Okay.
it's also very important at this point to not use any items whatsoever. We have to sell them back. Now, the other thing is, if you notice when they got in here, Dorn is back in our party, but Millie is not. There's some weird trickery with this game that I have yet to figure out when it comes to why sometimes Millie will be in the party as well as Dorn, or Millie will not be in the party.
Wait, is that RNG too?
Yeah,
Random
like I
party
said, there's a
members?
lot of RNG. There's a lot of RNG in this game.
That's actually really kind of funny. I mean, I understand the RNG in battles and stuff like that, but like when it comes to party members, that's okay.
Yeah. It's only for the beginning here. It's really only for the beginning. So the one thing that's interesting about Star Ocean and its party members, if you've never actually played like Star Ocean 2, for example, which is kind of the same engine that this is kind of built around, you have the ability to get multiple characters that can affect your entire game. So you don't get every character, you don't get every single character in the sense of like, when you play a traditional RPG and it's very linear. There's a lot of twists and turns in the Star Ocean franchise where you can get, if you get this character, you can no longer get this character. If you get this character, you have the option of getting these other characters. For the purposes of this, we're getting one optional character for their ability to help with cloning items.
Let's go.
Is one way of putting it. If you notice, we went to a city called Hot, and we just went there and then left immediately.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Basically,
loving.
Yeah, just so we can kind of go off and trigger that we visited the area. So we go off and trigger out this next area. Again, we're basically neighborhood watch, so our job is to do that. And now we find out that Millie's father has a letter, or I'm sorry, so it's Cool Village.
Cool
And
Village.
it's Cool Village. And we find out now, Cool Village sent a memo to us saying, don't come here. There's something strange happening in this area. No one should come here. Millie was like, I want to go ahead and explore this area. And Millie's father was like, no, it's my job. I'm the type of person that needs to do it. I'm going to go off and explore what's happening over in Cool.
Cool Village. Sorry,
Cool Village.
That's an interesting name for a village.
Oh yeah, the some of the town names in this are really, really interesting.
Well, so
now,
go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah. So 2 days have passed. We've not heard anything from Millie's father. Millie's getting really concerned. Our main character Roddick is being a little bit concerned as well. We're all trying to figure out what's going on. Why has it been 2 days? And so now we have this bird, and the fact that it took that long to show up was a little worrisome for me.
Wait, why is it bad if it shows up like at a...
No, it felt a lot longer than normal, which
okay.
threw me off.
Okay. Well, we have RNG, and the RNG of the bird is important too.
Yeah. So we found out that Millie's father has been imbued with a disease called stone sickness. Stone sickness is very much in the realm of petrification for RPGs. Essentially going off and saying that you slowly turn to a statue after a while, and there's no known cure for this type of illness on this planet.
Wait, does
So
that
we're
mean we
gonna
have to
go over
save
here.
the world?
Well, yes.
Are we going to save the world?
Yes. In a different way than one would think. But yeah, that's kind of, you know.
That's what I love about JRPGs, or even just RPGs. You always save the world in some form.
So you can see the person there that's been affected by stone sickness. And by the way, this game has probably 98% voice acting. So all of these dialogues, all of these lines that I'm skipping through, you may occasionally hear like a breath, you may occasionally hear like a word every now and then, because all of these are voice acted. There are certain lines here and there where it's not voice acted, but for the majority of it.
So we're not going to hear anyone, essentially?
Oh, we'll hear someone. There are some cutscenes that, you know, play through.
Okay. Because I would like to hear some.
Yeah.
So what got you into speedrunning this game?
So I've been a weird, big fan of the Star Ocean franchise. So Star Ocean, like ever since Integrity and Faithlessness was like announced, it really kind of fueled my fire back to when I was playing Star Ocean Second Story for the first time. And the year it came out, I was like, I want to play all of these games leading up to it so I kind of have an idea of the storyline and everything else along those lines. And it just, after playing all of them, it just kind of became like a game that I was really, really infatuated with. So after a while, I started playing the games over and over and over again. And I said, you know what I want to do? I want to learn Second Story. So I learned Second Story. And then last year, I said, no, I'm going to learn Star Ocean 1. And it became one of my oddly favorite speedrun RPGs to play. Just because of the RNG factor, the kind of improvisation that goes through all of it. And just the kind of the overall atmosphere that is the entire Star Ocean universe. So now we're going to go ahead and grab all these items. Now these items are important, not because we need them for the game, but we have to sell them here in a minute. Except for the 200 full. Also, full is the currency in this game. So we're going to go ahead and walk on over here. Ah, there it is. I was like, man, I'm not getting a whole lot of enemies right now.
Let's go.
So we found out that there's actually a cure, apparently on this mountain called Mount Mator. Now, but Mount Mator is full of these enemies called fellworms. They're very strong. They are very ferocious beasts, and they can kind of latch onto you if you're not careful. And that's a fellworm. And as you can see, we're at full health now. And this is a fight we have to do off and do. They take 5 hits. All right. And then I'm going to grab over here.
Remind me of the worms in freaking Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I can't get over those. There is a question for you. Which Star Ocean is your favorite? Like speedrunning aside, casually. Like it can be whatever manner speaking.
I have to go with Star Ocean 2. I actually am one of the few individuals, apparently, that really liked 5, Integrity and Faithlessness. But there is something very, very special about Star Ocean 2, being that it has... Oh, that was something else I wanted to say. The first 2 Star Ocean games have different endings. So, like, I think Star Ocean 2 has something like 80 different endings that you can actually grab, depending on what characters you do, who you converse with, how you have your connections labeled out. Oh, no, 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 no! Okay. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Thank you.
Ooh, you got away with that. Good job. Good job.
This run is starting out fun.
It's spicy. It's nice, and it's giving you some challenges there.
Yeah. Remember when I said that the RNG is fun? So, unlike traditional Star Ocean, and this was like the original one on the Super Nintendo, you don't have a situation where it's, you know, essentially turn-based in the aspect of like an ATB where you have a chance to make a decision and stuff like that. You can make decisions where the game will pause, but for the majority of the time, the game plays off in that battlefield, and you can move around in the battlefield. You can go ahead and switch between characters and everything else along those lines. I'm going to do this. just for safety reasons. So now we're going to go ahead and get these flowers, or so we thought. These two individuals over here came out of nowhere, and I mean that. They came from the white kind of circles, so to say. They just kind of literally came out of nowhere. So Roddick and Dorn or Millie are like, wait, why are you here? And this is Elia and Ronix. Excuse me. Ronix and Elia are from the planet Earth. Naturally, we're from the planet Roke. They are essentially aliens with a little bit of higher technology. If you know anything about the lore of Star Ocean, especially if you played Star Ocean The Last Hope, which is the fourth one in the series, you'll know that there's something that Earth created called the Underdeveloped Protection Plan, or the UP3. Or, I'm sorry, the Underdeveloped Planet Preservation Act, I think is actually what it is. And that basically says that any planet that is underdeveloped and basically says they don't have a whole lot of technology or they're learning technology at a lower end, you do not interfere with. So what's happening here is that Elia and Ronix, when they landed, did not think Millie, Dorn, and Roddick were here. So when they came down here, it was a shock to them completely. So now we board our starship, which I believe in this one is also known as the cuteness. Now, the catch is, since they're here, they've seen much, much higher technology than they've seen before. So what the UP3 basically says is, by them going on the ship, they're no longer allowed to come to Earth. So this is the only real cutscene with voice acting that we can, this is unskippable. So if you want to hear it, I'll let it play out.
Incredible. I've never seen anything like this before.
Once it's done, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I just realized I haven't asked any of your names yet.
My name is Roddick Ferrens.
I'm Millie Cleette.
Dorn. Myrtle.
Captain, his condition's deteriorating.
Better hurry then.
Oh, I forgot to mention, Dorn has stone sickness. So that's also another reason why they're trying to find a cure for stone sickness. And now that they have Dorn's blood, they're going to try and do as much samples as they possibly can. So what was the question?
The question was, do you speedrun Star Ocean 2? I know the answer to this, but I wanted to ask you.
Yes, I do speedrun Star Ocean 2. I am actually trying to learn all 5, eventually 6 Star Oceans. So I'm safety saving here for a particular reason. Mostly because
What can go wrong?
there's a very, very, very small chance here in a little bit that things can go horribly, horribly wrong. And I don't mean that in a sarcastic way. I mean that in the sense of I'm going to have to reset a couple times and hope that I don't have a situation, I hope that the speedrun can go on. If not, I have to reset for RNG purposes.
No resets. No resets. Please, no resets. So,
All right,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, remember when I was talking about the fellworms having an ability to stick on you? Mm-hmm. So apparently they stuck on Roddick and Millie, or one or the other, and so they got on the ship. The catch is Elia can't see these enemies, or that Elia can, but once we defeat these fellworms, they will vanish from their eyes. There we go.
To answer your question, this game in particular is on Switch, yes.
Yeah, it's on PS4 and on Switch. We are playing the PS4 version for reasons. You can still speedrun this on the Switch. You can, if you have it only on the Switch and you are interested in speedrunning this, you can still speedrun it on the Switch as well. There's really not much of a difference in terms of tricks, in terms of anything that could potentially hurt the speedrun as a whole.
I was about to ask that. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because you know how sometimes that could happen. Like, for example, I'm going to pick out Ori just because that's an easy one. There's a huge difference between Ori DE on the PC versus the Switch. On the Switch, you can't skip cutscenes. So, like, you can't do save anywhere to skip cutscenes. So that's a huge, major, time loss.
And And essentially what's happening now is the doctor is saying that even with the Earth technology, they still have no idea how to cure stone sickness. Even with all their higher end technology, they're trying to figure out what's really truly going on. I may have actually skipped that. I may have skipped a little bit of that here, but basically, they're all kind of debating on what's really going on. But the long end of the short is the doctor won't be able to find a cure for stone sickness for Dorn.
Oh.
But
Also,
don't worry.
Oh.
But don't
Okay,
worry.
good. Is this how we're going to save the world?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Question for you. For
Yes.
the Star Ocean 2 speedrunning, are you focusing on any percent or true ending?
Right now, I only focus on any percent because it's a good 5.5, 6 hour run. And my goal, like I said, I kind of want to learn any percent in all of them. And then once I get a chance to, I'm going to maybe go back and do some of the offshoot categories. True ending is a very, very, very interesting speedrun.
Oh, why? I'm just curious now.
There's a lot of extra leveling, if memory serves me correct, about in terms of that, and you'll kind of get an idea because we do it here on the any percent run. All right, so what's happening now? Like I said earlier, they couldn't find a cure for this, so Dorn unfortunately will be turned to stone.
No.
And Dorn's request is to go back to where he was so that he can actually stay in this village. And I have to give massive credit to the teleportation system, who can teleport Dorn right into his bed under the covers. I have to say, that's some pretty impressive technology.
I really, even, I have to, I don't want to say any franchises, but yeah, you're right.
So Dorn gave Millie a music box that was for Dorn's sister. And, well, yeah. And so now Millie and Roddick are forced to basically abandon their planet, and they have to go back to Earth to stand, essentially, try to figure out what's going on. Millie and Roddick spot an invisible ship that is not on everyone's radar, basically saying that Rokians have a much better eyesight, they have a much better technology, everything else along those lines. And the ship that's coming in is actually not an enemy ship.
Oh.
It is actually like they go off and say, "Hey, we're not trying to attack you. We need to have a chat. We need to have a conversation about this." They're going off and saying that Earth thought the other planet who came in was the one that was causing the stone sickness. And they're saying, no, we weren't causing the stone sickness at all. They found data that it was actually from an individual called Asmodeus. Here's the catch. Asmodeus lived on Roke 300 years ago. So, unfortunately, because of Asmodeus being, over 300 years ago, or at least was last seen over 300 years ago, they all can't really figure out what's going on. So as the crew decides to sit and have a nice brew of coffee with some brown cups and a white top and a green circle in the middle, Roddick just realizes there's a planet called Styx. At Planet Styx is known as the Time Gate. The Time Gate has the capability of letting us travel back in time. So, against all the orders that were assigned to Ronix and to Ilya, they're taking a small ship to Planet Styx to essentially go back in time to find the cure for stone sickness.
Huh. I'm glad that you're explaining the storyline, by the way.
Yeah. I try my hardest.
Yeah, because I have no idea what's going on. But, that's like a lot of speedruns, right? Like, you watch a speedrun and you're like, oh, well, what is going on with the game? Because most of the time you're mashing through the text. But for me, RPGs are super, super more important in terms of just storyline, just because, like, you know, they're very, very, like, longer and complicated and saving the world and why you want to save the world, good and dark and light and dark, I meant to say.
So what essentially would happen is now they're going to the time gate and say, oh, keepers of the time gate, let us travel, 300 years in the past so that we can go ahead and save the issue. Now, of course, what happens is they can't bring their futuristic weapons, and during the cutscene that we skipped, Elia trips on a rock. Roddick catches, and then when they both jump in, they're transported to a completely different area than where Ronix and Millie are. So essentially now, they're wondering where everyone is, and after a while they say, well, let's go ahead and figure out what's going on. First, we need to figure out, we got to change clothes, because obviously we have such futuristic clothes, we don't necessarily want to go ahead and look this way, because it's going to look really, really weird. So Roddick over here has to go off and find some extra clothing. So we're just going to go ahead and buy a little bit of this. And I button mashed a little bit too much, which is fine, because you can also lock yourself out there, and the door won't spawn. So
really?
Yeah, I've always had that happen to where you walk to the door, and for some odd reason, you can't exit until you walk away and then come back. It's a really interesting little glitch. Doesn't really affect much. So we give clothes to Elia, and Elia's like, well, they're a little bit, they're not as comfy, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and wear this then. There's not much else that I have. All right.
I feel like with this game, it's what does not go wrong. I think that's the feeling I get with this game. There's a lot of RNG, and when you're saying RNG, it's not the normal RNG.
The run is real. Okay, no more resets. Okay, good.
Yay!
Thank
We've
goodness.
gone past that.
Oh, that was...
That should be a clap. That should be a clap right there. I'm clapping.
Oh, wrong way. So now we're going to grab 420 full. And actually, let me do something real fast, just to double check. It needs to be strategy. No. I'll remember what it is here in a second. It's under settings. Okay. Yeah, we want Equipment Wizard off on all of our characters. Mostly because here in a second, you'll essentially see why once we get some extra weapons.
Retreat!
All right, so I'm going to scroll back up with my notes a little bit. So, you'll notice this is the same area that we were in, right? We landed basically in the exact same town that we were normally at.
Let's go!
And some of the enemies have spawned a little bit now. They're kind of more nature animals, not really more kind of characters. But here's the interesting thing. Remember when we said the name of this town was actually called Cool? Mm-hmm. So apparently it got changed in the 300 years. This town is now called Hot.
Oh, okay. So it has to deal with the elements?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the idea now is we have to get weapons. We have to get weapons because we lost our weapons before we get in this. So we're fighting without anything whatsoever. So we're going to go to the weapon.
If you go into a fight right now, you would have nothing to fight with.
Essentially.
Gotcha.
Our sprites would remain the same. But we're going to go off and get a quest. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase because I totally told the plot wrong.
Wait, what? Plot twist?
So that's not okay. That was weird. So we actually are trying to find our companions. So we have to go to a town called Portsmouth. In order to go to Portsmouth, we need to have a passport. By having the passport, it means we go over there. But we have to go through the mountain areas, which means we need to have the weapons. We still didn't have the weapons. But, so this individual was like, you're ripping people off for a weapon. So now we're going to go off and really save. And this is where the RNG comes into play, again. So remember the times where I was like, I have to double check and make sure everything happens? With like the sense of taste and everything else along those lines. This is the ruling with this next character. This character has to have what's known as animal instinct but not taste.
Okay. I have another question for you, by the way.
Good.
Is this version better than the SNES one? The SNES, Super Nintendo.
Apples and oranges. This one has, it's the same game, essentially. It's just got better graphics. It's got a little bit of a better layout. But it's essentially just the exact same game, just with an actual English translation rather than a fan translation. But the plot's the exact same. Where enemies are a little bit same. I will say it's a little bit easier to navigate than it is on the Super Nintendo version. All right, what do we get here for you, Cius? Animal Instinct, nothing else. Wow, nice. All right. All right, so we're gonna go to equipment. See, we have nothing.
You do have nothing. It says none, none, none.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do now is sell everything.
Sell. Oh, because you need
that
the
is
money.
buy. And that is buy, not sell. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Also, when it comes to blueberries, everything else along those lines. All right, so actually I need to go back in here. So what I need to do is buy knowledge, sense, and tech. And then we're gonna go over to the grocery store. Yes, grocery stores are a real thing here. And we're gonna max out in vegetables until I get under 1643, that is perfect. And we maxed out because in this game, you're only allowed 20 of every single item. It poses a little bit of a challenge. Also, I forgot to take Roddick out of the party. Poses a little bit of a challenge when you go off because when you heal with blueberries and blackberries, blueberries heal health, blackberries refill magic, you're gonna be with a percentage rather than an actual amount. So like, let's just say in like Final Fantasy, when you have like a potion, it heals like 200 or 250 HP. Blueberries will heal 20% of your ability.
I was just thinking it would be awesome if I could buy knowledge. And if I do buy technology, so. But, you know, if I just wanted to learn something, I'd just buy knowledge.
That'd be great. So one cool thing that is actually, I haven't discussed and I'm gonna start using here in a second, is there are skill points in terms of magic points. That's what we have, like, that's why we bought knowledge and sense and combat and all of that. Because you're gonna end up having different SP or special points that are gonna be used for abilities. These abilities are gonna be going off and create different characters. So you can use one where it's like, you max out this and then your blueberries change from like 20% to 40%. Or 50% or something else along those lines, so you can use less blueberries. There's also ways that you can go off and say, you can learn how to sing, you can learn how to read books, you can learn how to cook, you can learn how to get better abilities, get special treatment, all of that. And we're gonna be using that basically to our advantage to get some really, really strong and powerful weapons incredibly early.
Run away! Run away!
Yeah, because we need, you need to, that's like the fastest way, right? In most RPGs, that's the fastest way, like getting the best armor as early as you can.
Yeah.
We better get serious about this.
Oh, there's a reason why Cius is the only one in the party.
Oh, wow.
So if you have multiple people in your party, it's going to average out your leveling, your whatever level you have. And that determines how fast you run away, because it's also determined on the level up of your enemies. So if you're at a much higher level than your enemies, you're gonna run away from the battle a lot faster. Cius is at level 10. Right now, Roddick is at level 6, which means it would take longer for us to run out of the battle.
Oh, if you were using Roddick?
Mm-hmm. Or having both of them in the party.
Got it. Oh, it's interesting when that, like, if you have both of them.
Yeah.
And, like, he doesn't, that makes sense. That's interesting, though.
All right. So now we go to Portmouth. We have our passport. Now, in theory, what we're supposed to do in the game casually, we're supposed to drop off an item, which is a giant bunny. And then we go to the weapon shop, drop off the giant bunny, and then we go back and say, oh, we completed our this, and we're doing all of that. That's what we're supposed to do, but we're not gonna do that. Well, by that I mean not all of us. So I'm gonna go ahead and get Sense 2. And here's where you kind of get everything, you know, kind of learning. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have Sias learn determination and then knife, keen eye, and recipe. So now Sias knows how to cook. And then now Roddick knows how to cook. So we're going to go to specialty, actually go to item creation, and we're going to cook with these vegetables until we learn the ability of taste. And remember when I said RNG plays a factor? This is kind of where it comes into play.
I thought RNG came to play this whole entire time.
Well, yeah.
You mean the bet, like the most important part.
You're gonna see this happen. There we go. Okay. So now Sias learns taste. So every time you learn an ability, it gives you 100 SP, so you can gain things up. The problem is, this is RNG, so you can spend 5 seconds doing it. You can spend, 3 minutes doing it. So now we're gonna go back and we're gonna have Sias max out on Danger Radar. And I have to make sure that's right. And then Roddick is going to learn Determination for 2, so we can lower the ability, and learn 4 Purity. Purity gives us more money. And then we're gonna go to Specialty, because I have to make sure I do this, and Avoid Enemies. So what's interesting is, now that we have Avoid Enemies on, enemies will spawn less in the main world. What's interesting is we're gonna lose Sias here in a minute, but that still plays a factor. So now I'm gonna grab 10 flare bombs. I probably don't need 10, but it's still a benefit to this whole situation. So we're gonna go ahead. Go ahead.
I just always am amazed how fast, like, the one thing I love about RPG or JRPGs, doesn't matter, speedruns, is the menuing.
2, 3, 4.
Oh, you're focusing here.
Yeah. 5, 6, 7, down. So now Sias is going to deliver the bunny and can... Oh, I did not mean to do that.
What?
No. There we go. Okay. There's a little bit of an extra menu. But we want Sias to deliver all of that. So we can go ahead and do that. So naturally, and I have plenty of time to talk about this here in a minute. I'm just going to concentrate here in a second. There we go. Okay. So what our shipmate over here is, we can't sail because there are pirates out. And casually, you have the option to decide to fight them or not to. We're not going to. Instead, we're going to go to the inn 20 times. We're going to be relaxing at the inn for essentially 20 days so that the bandits can leave, the pirates can leave, and then we can go ahead and sail to our next area. And this is where I just button mash through it all. You'll know you're done when at the bottom left, Roddick comes out and says, "Oh, by now the bandits have to be gone. We should be fine." So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've not currently discussed. And there's a lot more that kind of goes into it.
I'm at the storyline. So the part of the storyline that we're in right now, how much further are we going to figure out how to discover that people can be unstonable? I guess unpetrified?
Well, that's our main quest.
Okay, so we're doing a side quest right now.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Well, it's kind of a side quest. You have the option to go off and attack the pirates. And in the process, you find... I forget the name of the creature. It's a cat-like creature that you can actually opt later on and get into your party, which can trigger another ending or can trigger exactly how many characters you're going to have and stuff like that. You have a max of 8 characters, and I think you have a max of 8 characters that you can have in your party, and I think there's 10 to 12 characters you can actually have throughout the entire game. So that also adds to a lot of replayability, where it's like with this playthrough, I went ahead and got these characters, but there are other characters I'd like to have as well and see what their abilities are and see how I play things differently. So when you play, you can actually decide, well, on the last playthrough, you were in my party, so I don't want you in my party this time. I'm going to go ahead and have this other person join in the play, and that adds a lot of replayability into the Star Ocean worlds. I saw someone in the chat. What we're doing seems a bit cowardly. It's actually faster in the long run because the enemies over there are actually quite strong, especially for us being as low of a level as what we are. So we don't necessarily want to do that. We're going to go to the next area where we should be at a high level because the game kind of does want us to go off and attack the pirates and save everything else along those lines. So when we run into enemies, there's a chance there's a section of enemies that can be very catastrophic to the run. But we'll see where that all goes through. I've lost track of how many times we've done this, but that's okay because at the very bottom, I'll see erotic space pop up and then I know we're done. So, yeah.
I'm looking at the screen right now, and all I see is, there it is. Was that a long screen transition, or is that just me?
Well, there's music that's being played, you know, the signal as you're adding in and everything else along those lines.
Oh, gotcha.
It says,
gotcha.
hey, by the way, you know, because especially for the Super Nintendo, when especially for the Super Nintendo and PlayStation era, when you went and used the in to level up to rest, there was always that in music. Even then, it's still in a lot of RPGs. I've been playing a lot of Tales of Arise casually, and I still kind of hear that jingle.
Okay.
So. But don't worry, because the game does kind of kick in. And things get a little fun.
Wait, it hasn't been fun already?
Oh, I mean fun. I mean fun in the sense of like we're going to basically advance our weaponry at a much higher rate.
It gets more spicy?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like this so reminds me of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I'm sorry I'm bringing it up. That's like the third time I'm bringing it up today, but
It's fun. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we're done. So now we can go back and they say, hey, hooray, the pirates and bandits are all gone. You want to go to Trop? So we're going to go to Trop. Or, I'm sorry, Ottoman, I think. So interesting thing about this. I have a note system section to where I'm going through and I am reading notes as a true good RPG speedrunner is. You have a note section where you kind of go off, where you kind of have an idea of what you're doing. The notes were written in Japanese, translated to English, and then I've been kind of going forth and trying to fix, some of that type of stuff. So now we have Fia. Fia is no longer going to be in our party. We only have her, basically, so we can do this. So we're going to give 1 to determination, and then we're going to go ahead and max out on purity, which would be 7. And we have money now. And so we're going to save here because like I said a minute ago, these enemies are very hard for us being at level 6. And so I'm going to go ahead and move over here. But we do want to fight these enemies, depending on the type that we get. And I hope this is a decent... Okay. All right. This will probably take about 2 or 3 rounds, depending on how things go. Yeah. So, each of these takes, I think they have about 600-700. And 2 flare bombs is what we need. And then we do this basically until we level up and we get Firestorm Blade. Once we have Firestorm Blade, we're good. We don't technically need to carry on. If you're interested in getting a little bit more leveling up, you can. It mostly depends on the type of...
Behind us!
Oh, no! Don't you dare, game. Okay. Oh, wow. Thanks, game.
this game is not being nice right now at the moment. I do have 2 questions for you.
What's up?
Are you got a point for me to ask? Because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Okay.
Yeah. We should be fine now.
So, who found out about this part? I'm wondering if that's in regards to the in question.
Yeah, I'm
earlier.
not exactly 100% on actually who discovered some of that.
And then the other question was, how does purity equal money? What is the logic there?
That's a game when they put it in there. That could be a translation thing as well. So I need to go here and I need to purchase knowledge 2, tech 2, and then combat 2. And rather than going over here, we're going to take a boat to another city called Astral Kingdom. Here is basically where we're supposed to get confused with what's going on. So notice that she just joined the party. And she's killing guards, and she's going a different route. And why is this happening? Why is Fia going off and who left our party? Why is Fia going off and, you know, destroying guards? Well, she actually did go off and attack the king of this area and, you know, essentially go off into the castle and kill the king. And those what those chimes were signaling that, yeah, the king's dead. So, or not the king, but like one of the grand individuals. And that's what you're going to see here. So, and I think it was the Grand Chancellor or something else along those lines. But we're not going to really do anything about that here in the run. It's just kind of a useless thing that casually you would know. We're going to go here and buy this Kung Fu top, which apparently is hard for me to say. And we're going to say goodbye to Astral City for the moment. So we're going to head to this other area, which is now Trop. I have to always run and dodge the NPCs, so save again, just for safety reasons, just in case we get something like that bad happening. Also, Ilya is now in our party again. We don't want that, because she is half our level, which would make running away from these battles a lot slower. And again, while we are at level 10, these enemies can be a little bit tricky.
Let's go. Let's go.
And I didn't mention earlier that normally when you casually play, there's actually kind of a big statue at the very beginning of this game that no one really knows about. It's just kind of there. It's just kind of a statue that has deteriorated over time, and everyone in the townsfolk is just like, they've heard rumblings of that this could be, you know, a statue of some kind, something from a foreign land, anything else along those lines. But when you go here, you notice that that whole system is no longer there. Well, this is the reason why. So we're gonna notice that there's something kind of flying in the distance, and it crashes on our planet Rogue. Causes this big, massive explosion, and everyone's like, "Man, that was a big meteor. That did some damage." And so what we're going to do is we're going to actually take a slight detour and figure out what that was. So we're actually going to go back to our first area here to figure out what that was.
Was it a meteor?
No. It's actually a spaceship. It's actually a spaceship.
Oh, no, I was about to ask that.
Now, the other good thing is that since we're at level 10 and these enemies are a little bit weaker, we're able to kind of avoid the enemies a little bit more, as well as run from these battles a lot faster.
Let's go.
I do have not a question, but something I have a question on based off of a comment. So during this like run in general, at this point in time, the first question I have would be, why is everybody getting petrified? Do we not know that yet? And we're trying to figure out why we're, you know, getting petrified?
So, they're theorizing that it's something that Asmodeus did, that Asmodeus created this virus that over time was just, over the 300 years, was just seeping into everyone's system, causing stone sickness, and there was no known cure for a long time. It's theorized that if we get a sample of Asmodeus's blood, then we can actually find the cure But of course, by doing that, we had to travel back in time, and that's basically what we're doing. So we're trying to find Asmodeus. Right now, we're trying to find Millie and Ronix, but eventually, when we team up, our main mission is to find Asmodeus and destroy Asmodeus so we can get some blood, travel back to the present, get the samples, and cure stone sickness.
And then off of like that same comment, I did have a second question. Throughout this run, there was times that it was hard. Is it just hard because of the RNG, or what makes it hard necessarily? Because you have to focus on the items you're getting or the knowledge, like the stats you're getting, those kind of things.
The hard part is mostly due to the RNG aspect of it all. Mostly because I'm going to buy Combat 1. Well, for the speedrun, we have notes that we can sit down here and it'll say, do this, go here, do this, do that. It's RNG and the fact that we're severely low leveled right now. So here in a little while, we're not necessarily going to have a situation to where being low leveled is going to be an issue. It's just we just have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, so basically for the first 45 minutes or 50 minutes of the run, you're just under leveled the whole entire time, and so you're trying to make sure that you're on par to everything that you're fighting or what you need to fight.
Right.
Okay. Those are very good questions, by the way. Well, that was a good topic to bring up. Because a lot of times, especially in RPG speedruns, I mean, I'm not the master at them. I have a few under my belt, but I only have 2. I have Cat Quest 2 and Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. But being under level is a thing. That is the main thing that you learn about. And so, each game, you have to figure out how to stay on par with why you're being under level, so you don't die easily or whatever.
Oh, on the last frame.
Let's go.
So, plot-wise, Elia looks at the ship and says, "This ship looks very, very much like a ship from Earth. It looks like one of the ships that we would normally have." And naturally, no one else understands that, not even Roddick. But Elia looks at the ship, inspects it, and says, "This really looks like an Earth ship. Huh, I wonder why that is." Maybe it's foreshadowing. But after all that is said and done, we're going to go back to port. We're going to go back and continue our search for Millie and Ronix.
Let's go.
I think this question was answered, but I want to know is this game using the same battle engine as the Star Ocean from the second story?
It's using the same as Second Departure. So Star Ocean First Departure and Star Ocean Second Evolution were remastered for the PSP. In terms of the core mechanics, they're the same. Star Ocean Second Story. So if you played Star Ocean Second Story, you have the same knowledge of the SP points. The naming may be a little bit different, but it's the same basis. I think they built on kind of a new engine to make it look pretty, but outside of that, if you've played Star Ocean Second Story, you basically have a basis of Star Ocean First Departure R.
Let's go.
So,
Let's go.
and you can see where I'm moving a lot faster out of these compared to when we were in the other areas. And so now we're going to go back and continue our search for Millie and Ronix.
Let's go.
Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and grab this. We're going to continue. And we're going to take this individual here on the right to go back to where we were. And we're going to go up here to Ekdart. because this is the next area we're supposed to go in the casual plotline. And we're getting off the ship, and who do we know? It's Millie! And Millie's going the wrong direction. So fun fact, again, RNG has a weird factor. Millie can run down or up. Does this affect the game in any way, shape, or form? I honestly do not know. But there's a chance that there's a simple chance that Millie can either run down or run up, and what if that has any implications to RNG, manipulation, what it does to the game as a whole, I'm not 100% off of. But now we've reunited with Millie. We're trying to figure out where Ronix is. Millie's like, well, we separated, but we found this beautiful, we found another individual, and Millie is talking very sweet, very nice about this individual. Ilya's not necessarily fond about that whole situation by stopping out. And then Roddick is kind of realizing what's happening, or Millie kind of realized, I think is a better way of putting it, that it's possible that Ilya and Ronix, or Ilya likes Ronix. So Ilya's a little bit jealous. And that's not the actual intent. All right.
By the way, there's a lot of positive comments about your storytelling and the knowledge you're providing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go here to our next skill guard, and we have to buy Sense 3 and Technique 3, which I think is this one right here. It was right. So Millie has a lot of skill points here. So we're going to go ahead and look at our skill points here, and with Millie. So we're going to go ahead, Determination at level 3, Music Knowledge, and Performance at level 9. And you have to be a little bit careful here because you can actually mess this up a little bit. And then Purity at level 9 as well. We're going to learn how to play some music.
Yay.
And actually, I need to do the same thing with Ilya. Ilya needs to learn how to play some music as well. We are going to buy 20 feather pens and then 20 conductor batons. So here, we have to go off and have Millie learn the music. Oh, I forgot to buy the violin. Whoops.
Oh, violin, huh?
Yeah, I have to buy an instrument to learn how to play, an instrument. That seems pretty accurate.
So does it have to be the violin? I'm just curious.
Well, it's the cheapest one we have.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say the violin's the best because I played it for 10 years.
That's one down. All right. So I need to get another one. This is where the RNG can be happy or sad. Or this is a fun part for RNG to be happy or sad. Is a better way to do that. Did I get it? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Okay. So. Whoops. Specialty.
The muse is not speaking to you.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
That's horrible.
Let's go.
Let's go. Come on. Send RNG prayers.
It's all good.
Come on, the muse. Come on. Okay. So, you're not learning it, right? Basically, at this point.
Yeah.
How much more can you go until you can't learn it, kind of thing?
Yeah, there is none. Like you can do this. Essentially, you'll do this until
it speaks to you.
Yeah. Holy smokes! Wow. We need this. There it is. Okay.
Yay, yatta!
There's that.
That was
all right.
Okay.
We're not necessarily done yet, though. Because now I got to do that with Ilya.
Okay, so I'm having questions for you.
Yo, what's up?
Does this game have an infinite dungeon like the second story?
I'm not sure if it's not infinite, but there is like an extra dungeon here.
And then the other one is, when it comes to this like music, you're trying to learn the violin, what is the best number of tries to make it work?
Until it works.
I mean, like, okay. Got me that time.
Okay. I got it. I think I was doing that wrong.
Uh-oh. Do you need to focus?
Nah. I'm fine.
I find this very fascinating. I'm trying to figure out, you know, the RNG part, but also, like, I don't know. It's just, I'm hoping it's going to happen faster.
Yeah, so let's see here.
They're not enjoying the Muse person at the moment. RNG is not on your side right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, okay. I already had listening. Oh, that's why. Okay. So I didn't need to do any of that. GG.
Oh, okay. So RNG was not, yeah.
Yeah. I did need to do it, but not as long as I needed to do it, I guess is the better way of saying it.
Yeah.
Fingers. Taste. Okay, so I have taste, so I can do love of animals. Okay. Let me go back and grab this because I do need to do this here. Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I'm reading chat.
Yeah.
Okay, so as of right now, okay, so now Millie's coming out, right? Or no?
We need Millie because Millie is the highest level in the game so far because we're not supposed to be this low.
Got it.
And
okay.
the game's like, oh, okay. Because of that, and I saved here because there's always a chance that you can die, and it's just easier in the long run to have it set in stone. That way, in case you die, you don't have to worry about this.
Okay.
Let's get out of here!
I always find it funny. Like, Millie's reminding me of Phoebe at the moment.
Oh, and hey, look, it's Ronix. But there's someone new there. I wonder who that is, and they're talking to the Crimson Shield. That's weird. So it turns out the Crimson Shield killed her family, and she wants revenge. So she ended up teaming with Millie and Ronix, and Millie got separated, of course. Now the whole band is back together. We're all good. We have an extra individual, so we're all gonna go off to the bar and have ourselves a nice little drink. Ilya is apparently very well fashioned in the drinks of a planet that's 300 years in the past that she apparently has never visited before. And Millie is one who's like, I just kind of want like some fruit punch. And everyone else, you can see, everyone is, having a good festive time. They're talking about their stories. They're talking about everything else along those lines. Ilya is mad because they got her drink wrong. And then, several hours pass of drinking, and they all kind of, fall asleep in the bar. And in the process, Mavel is who that individual is, leaves, and is kind of like, you all are kind of doing your own, you're all around this quest and stuff like that. I have my own quest I kind of want to do, so I'm going to go ahead and leave. I'm going to go ahead and just follow my own quest, follow my own destiny, follow what I want to do, and I'm going to do things in my own way. So here you have the option, really, if you want Mavelle in your party or not. For the purposes of the speedrun, we want Mavelle in our party. And she's overjoyed. She's incredibly happy for the simple idea that now we want her and we want to help her with her journey. And now she has, newfound friends that she can, help and guide and be there and everything else along those lines. And so we all decide, okay, we're going to go to the inn, and that's where we're going to reconvene. Go back over here. And, of course, everyone's pretty much well rested. And now Mavelle has joined the party. So we're going to go over to, where are we at on time, by the way?
103.
103? Perfect. If we want to go ahead and pause the game in 3, 2, 1, pause. This is a great time to
have a little break.
Yes.
All right, everybody. So right now we're going to just do a quick little break, a little 5-minute break just to, stretch our legs, walk around, get some water and everything like that. So stay tuned. Just before we get on the break, though, just a reminder that unapologetically Black and Fast is coming up. In this new recurring Hotfix Marathon, Black runners are front and center and a celebration of Black joy. This first iteration is running February 12th and 13th for 12 hours a day, scheduled to be released February 1st. And just to remember that Frostbite Tales is in February 27th to March 5th. Use the command FF in chat or go to gamesdonequick.com/BrainPatels for more info. All right, everybody, we're gonna go on a break. We'll be back. Well, welcome on back, everybody, to Legally Cute, a show about cute and cozy games that are being in a speedrunning fashion. I am Rue, your host, and we are back with some more Star Ocean First Departure R. So Midnight Vesper, are you ready? Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Before we continue, if you don't have anything else.
I just want to say a few things just really, really quick. Make sure to stay tuned after this show for me, but you also have tomorrow's shows for Tina's RPG show, I guess, at 1 p.m. Eastern. Just wanted to remind everyone on that.
Alrighty. So, I did see in chat a question that did pop up if we're going to end up using Mavelle in this run at all. Unfortunately, we're really not going to be using Mavelle much in this run. We'll be doing some other things. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue in 3, 2, 1, go. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of here. I need to go back to skills and go to Millie because we need to have Millie's determination maxed out. So we're going to go to Mavelle here. I'm going to go ahead and mark determination for 3. Music knowledge at 6. Performance at 6. Mineralogy is going to be maxed out at level 10. Technology down here is going to be at level 4. Fairyology is going to be at level 10. And then imitation is going to be at level 5. We're going to go back to Ronix. We're going to have determination at level 3 on Ronix. And then we're going to max out music knowledge and performance. Mineralogy is going to be maxed out. Eye for detail is going to be level 8.
Well, eye for
and
detail.
Then aesthetics at level 3. So now that that is all taken care of, we're going to go here to the store and we're going to buy 20 iron. We're going to max out on iron. and we're going to buy a lizard flask. Lizard flask really, really helps with alchemy and everything like that. So now we're going to end up playing some music. This is why Goddess's Arrival was so much fun, because it really helps with the RNG. So we're going to go to Mavel with alchemy, and we're going to get 2 rainbow diamonds. Sorry. All right. 2 rainbow diamonds right off the top. We're gonna go ahead and get some more Philosopher Stones. We're gonna get probably around 10 Philosopher Stones. Normally for this, you want to get as many as you possibly can. So usually somewhere between, I think maybe somewhere between probably 7 to 10 is probably a good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and play the music again. So play some more of the Goddess's Arrival. And the whole point of Goddess's Arrival here is actually to, we want to go ahead. The whole point of this is it helps with crafting. So it helps our abilities and make things go by a little bit faster, gives us a little bit better chance to get these items that we are really much interested in. All right, we got one more. I'm good. Okay, cool. All right. So what I need to do now is actually get to Damascus for something later on. All right, and that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and play some more music here. And so we're going to go ahead and go back to Mavel. And let's see here. Damascus. 1. Oh, I'm out of iron. I need to make one more choice of getting that, which is fine. Irons don't cost a whole lot. I'm just trying to do it really fast, see if I can get it at the last second. Let's see, specialty. Nope, that's not it. I may run out here, so I'm going to try. Maybe. There we go. Nice. Cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then let's see here. So that we got all of that taken care of. We're going to go ahead and buy some more stuff. We're going to max out on our blueberries. We're going to max out on our blackberries. Pay attention to my balance here at the bottom right. We're going to get, not that. We are going to get the resurrection bottles. I'm going to max out on my aqua berries as well. I'm going to go ahead and get my max canvas here.
Totally.
I'm going to get,
totally
fine. Max out. Yeah, we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and get 20 cameras, 20 of my magic film.
I'm laughing because of just how much debt you're in.
I'm going to get some 20 rubies, 20, I believe diamonds. Yeah, okay. We're going to get 20 pet food, and we're going to max out on our iron again. And you notice we're a little bit in debt, aren't we? So I think we're going to have to sell a Philosopher Stone or 2.
Oh, wow. So that was funny.
So now with Ilya over here, we have a little bit more SP than we have. I'm going to put a little bit into determination here. And then what I'm going to do here is animal training and whistling. So we have the familiar ability. We're going to go ahead and use that to learn. If I remember where it is at. There we go, familiar. We're going to send a bird. There we go. Okay, so we have that, which is good, which is almost pretty much what we need here. So Ilya has 185 SP, which is right on the money. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put drawing, or I believe that is actually sketching here at level 8. Music knowledge at level 4. And then, let's see here. Performance at level 4. Aesthetic sense. So I always forget because it's a little bit different here in the English version. I think it's actually aesthetic design here. But we should be able to put that at level 6. We maybe, yeah. So we're a little bit on that. We're a little bit low on that one, which is fine. I can maybe, what does she have here? Okay. So that's fine. We can work. We can work with that a little bit. So we're going to, I have to remember how to. Goddess's Arrival as well. Item creation with her. All right, so I actually do need to do this. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and let's see, aesthetics. Okay. That's what I want. So it was actually aesthetics, and I just messed it up a little bit, which is... We'll go ahead and do that. So now we're looking at... That's what I was looking for. Okay, cool.
Can you explain what just happened?
This is a lot here, so...
Okay, when you have a moment, I do want an explanation.
Yeah.
I demand an explanation.
So essentially, we're learning certain tricks. We're getting the ability to go off and... Let's remember what I'm doing here. We're essentially telling... There you are, Millie. We're using these certain abilities to kind of trick the game into getting certain skills that we need. And I need to actually... There's my fairy card. We're looking for an experience card. So there it is. Fantastic. All right. So now we're going to go to Mavel, who is actually with our item creation. We're going to replicate that. We're going to replicate that 10 times. So we have 10 of the experience cards. And I know this is a lot. This is a lot of setup here, but there's a reason for everything that we're doing here. We're setting things up to essentially have a little... Make the game kind of play in our favor. So there's 5.
I'm sorry, but I'm amazed by the... I'm mesmerized by the menuing.
7. But 9? Or is that 8? Okay, there we go. There's 10. Okay, awesome. So now we're going to go ahead and learn some more skills. So Ronix over here has... So we need to have, looks like, sense of music and crafting and animal lover. So we're going to grab that first because that's all that we can do. So we're going to summon another bird.
The bird doesn't like you.
No, the bird does not like me at all. Did I?
Let's get the bird to like him.
No, okay. We should be fine. Okay. All right, so we got to buy some more pet food here.
We need to get the bird to like you.
Yeah, we need the bird to like me.
Come on, chat. We need the bird to like him.
I'll double check something real fast. Okay, yeah. So, all right, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, okay. That's the thing. All right. Ronix can actually not learn that.
Oh.
For some odd reason, I did not realize that Ronix cannot learn that.
Oh.
So, because we need to work on some of that here, I'm going to run and save because we do need to have this type of stuff for Ronix over here. So, 1. All right, so that's what I needed there. So that gives me learning skills here. Oh, that's actually, okay, that actually works in my favor. Okay. So now that gives me that, which I need. And then, so I need, let's see here. Need the music. Actually, let me do this. Let me load here. Because I was on the wrong character. So, which is fine. So then we have orchestra. Orchestra is really important to something else we're about to do. And then I got to make sure I did that right as well. Okay, so we got rhythm sense. So we need... All right. So again, while we're doing all this, we're building up for a lot of things that's going to be very beneficial here. So I need to learn. I don't need to worry about rhythm sense, crafting. Okay, so I can do those two. And then crafting needs to be mineralogy, detail, and aesthetics. All right, and then whoops. And we're gonna go ahead and do that. And then I have art. All right, so okay, we got the bird there. And so now we're gonna craft with the iron until we learn another ability. Okay, there's that. That was fast. And with that, we are also going to learn some art. That was fast. Okay, so now that is all taken care of with Roddick. So now we're going to have Roddick with eye for detail at level 8. Smithing is going to be at maxed out. Aesthetic design is at level 3. So I'm going to go back over here. And we're going to grab some weapons. I'm going to buy 20 Sinclair. All right, and then what we're going to do here is Bronix goes bye-bye. Mabel goes bye-bye. I'm going to go ahead and save. And then equipment to Millie. We're going to go back to Roddick, and then we're going to add equipment to Rainbow Diamonds. We're going to go ahead and play some music, which is going to be Goddess's Arrival. And we're going to go ahead and customize the Sinclair with some diamonds.
This is, wow.
And there's a Sword of Marvels. That's exactly what I need. So pay attention when I equip the Sword of Marvels here. So we're going to go ahead and, so your weapon right now is attack of 81. Our Sword of Marvels now is 781. So that's a little bit stronger what we're going to have. We're going to save here just in case I run into an enemy when I go back here and die, which we do not want. So we're going to go back to X Start here. So,
We can't lose.
for what it's worth,
Let's get out.
Roddick's a little bit stronger than Roddick was a second ago. But we're not done yet. Because now comes all the accessories. So,
But yet, there's more.
pretty much. So we're going to go over here to our item shop, or jewelry shop. We're going to buy here 20 silver, 20 green beryl, and 20 crystal.
Yeah, this is so much. This is a lot of crafting.
Yeah. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to max this out a little bit again. We're going to go ahead and here, I need to buy the lyre or harmonica and probably the pipe organ. So Millie is our friend now. So we're going to go ahead and orchestra. So we need a total of 8 here. So we can have 1. All right. We're gonna just go ahead. This is a lot, but you're
In for a treat. I have a feeling.
Yeah, you're in for a treat when this is all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's 2. 1, 2.
2.
Okay. So now we have 6.
I cannot remember all this. I
That's
don't
why
know. It's all the, like in my face.
This is why I have notes, because you notice when I'm getting silent because I'm making sure I'm doing all of this right. Well, okay. Oh, wow. That's, okay. So that gives us the ability to use the orchestra capabilities. So orchestra makes crafting, it simplifies crafting really, really fast. And I'm going to run out here and save because sometimes we can be a little low on items. And if something like that were to happen, I don't want to risk anything. So I'm going to come back over here and save. So
I'm still surprised. I cannot, like, all this crafting. I'm in my head. I'm just like, okay.
Oh, wait. I can't do okay. So now we're going to use super specialty. So super specialty is over there. So we're going to go crafting with Ronix. And we are going to use our crystal to create what's known as an intimidation pendant, which is right there. All right. Thank you. And then we are going to use the philosopher's stone here to hopefully. All right, I got that. Actually, I'm going to save here because I do need to keep an eye out of my philosopher's stones. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to use orchestra again. Crafting with the philosopher's stone. Ring of mental power. That is not what I need. Mental power. Mind ring. I'm looking for ring of avoidance is what I'm looking for at the moment. Mind ring. Okay. And this is what I was somewhat afraid of, but this is kind of also in the norm of things. So on a creation with Mind ring, Miss Insignia, Ring of Avoidance. There we go. Cool. And we got 3 left. That should be all that I need for that. And then we are going to go to Roddick. Roddick is going to craft from silver. We need a silver cross. Okay, there's the silver cross. I'm technically supposed to have 3 of them. But we can actually kind of copy the other 2, and hopefully that would be the best. So now we're going to go ahead and do some more orchestra. And go back to Roddick. And we're going to go ahead and create the rubies. 2 berserk rings. There's 1. Nope.
Oh,
all right.
no. Okay.
And then there's a second one. Okay. And then we're going to use the green barrel to create a might chain and a fairy ring. Hopefully. Chain of might. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save. That way, in case I run out, everything's happened. Oh, I just loaded. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's fine. So.
You saved, right? And then
I don't remember. Let me double check when I. All right, so okay, we got the silver cross. Okay, so all right, so we can do the berserk rings. We'll start from the berserk rings again. It's fine. So this is why for that type of situation
you save. Safety saves.
Yeah.
Safety saves. I was about
saves.
to say, while I know Midnight's not explaining too much, and I know Midnight will explain it, but it's just a lot of focus right here. I could tell. I'm not even speedrunning this, and I'm focused.
All right. There's my fairy ring. Might chain, come on. Huzzah!
Nice.
All right.
Okay, that was a good recovery.
Okay. So now we're gonna be equipping, if I can. So Roddick gets rid of the rainbow diamonds. Roddick gets a. Let's see here. Roddick gets a berserker ring and. It's chain of might. Now we're at 1,000. Elia should have. Oh, okay. I got to do that too. Sorry, I forgot. I need to do one more thing.
I don't blame you.
This is a lot. This is a lot you have to do.
So if anyone was to speedrun this and they had this part to do, what would you advise them? Like,
read the guide.
Read the guide. Okay.
The guide.
And have notes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
the guide in the notes is basically all you need to do. Okay, there. All right. That's all I need to do there. So, and then we're going to go ahead and give you a Berserk ring. And then we're going to give you the Silver Cross. Millie gets the Fairy ring. Once I find out where it's at. And then another Silver Cross. And then Mavel gets the last Silver Cross. All right, and replace. You are here, and then I'll put you here for right now. Everything should be good here. I don't have to worry too much about that. And then, strategy on Elia needs to be don't do anything. And then I need to equip Ronix with the Intimidation Pendant and the Ring of Avoidance, so we have a lot lower enemy encounter. I am going to save here because this needs to be Firestorm Blade. And so we're going to play some more music, but we're going to play Melody of Judgment, which I don't think I have here. Oh, it's something else. I'm not really. Yeah. Song for Justice. That's it. And then we are going to play. Is it Battle Blues? No, it is. Oh, okay. I forgot to buy one thing. That's what happened.
I'm surprised you remembered all that. I couldn't remember all of that. Oh, man. Oh, I feel tired.
Oh, my personal favorite comment that I've seen so far. Imagine forgetting to save. I've done all this and forgotten to save. All right, I'm gonna max out on that. So I need to go ahead and specialty with Millie. We need to compose with the Silver Trumpet. There we go. Okay.
Okay, it spoke to you.
Yeah. That's a little bit easier. So we're gonna go ahead and.
After you're done doing this, I do have a question.
Oh, all right. So now that I have all of that taken care of, now I'm going to go back to specialty. Millie is going to perform the Song for Justice and then the Devil's Aria. And if I did all of this right, a battle will initiate. And it should be, yes.
Yay!
So, this enemy is very, very difficult.
I'll let you defeat this, and then I'll ask questions.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm not kidding when I say this enemy is tough.
Why does his face remind me of a video game, an arcade game?
So look at this. 240,000 experience. Now we just gained 35 levels. So you know what we're going to do, right?
What are we going to do?
Well, we're going to switch things out of here a little bit. We're going to change this to Dragon Roar. And actually, I'm going to keep Elia back in the party just as a safety. And, well, it worked the first time, didn't it? So I guess a good idea would be to do it again.
What was the game I was thinking about? The arcade game.
So we're going to grab another experience card. And now we have this other move called Dragon Roar. This is going to be our main attack for the rest of the game.
Oh my goodness. This is, oh my goodness.
There, and you see it drained all of our MP, and we still get it. And there's another 240.
Excellent.
And because we're higher at, we didn't gain as much. But Elia is no longer in the party. We're going to go ahead and look some skills. We have 999 in our skill points. So we are going to go ahead and max out determination. This is where kind of the improv slightly comes into play, like I was mentioning earlier. We do have an idea of what we want, but it's kind of all based off of what works best for you. So, but wait, we're not done yet. So, we're going to do this once more.
Okay, I
need to
remember the
save.
game. That facial reaction of that person reminded me of Metal Slug for some strange reason.
Oh, okay, I can see that. So, again, if I do this right, we're going to have Elia play now. Song for Justice raises our attack power. So when we do all of this, hopefully I saved.
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, once you're done doing all the fighting, I think we need an
Yeah.
explanation of everything that we just saw. Because some new people are coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So remember it was 240. Now it's 60 or yeah, 690 million experience. Not million, 690,000 experience. So now we're at level 71. So now we're at level 71. Remember when we started just a minute ago, we were at level 10?
Yeah. Now you're at 71. What the heck?
Yeah. All right. So we want to go ahead and where's Godspeed? Okay.
Okay. So why was it important to face that enemy in particular?
So what's happening? What's happening is we basically made the game through certain exploits. I'm gonna risk it. Through certain exploits we've realized in the game, having experience cards versus attacking those certain enemies basically exemplifies the amount of experience you get, and because there's only one person essentially in the party the whole time, they get all of the experience. Where if you have 2, 3, or 4 people, that experience could split up to all of them. So in the process, because of that, having a move like Dragon Roar, which is a move that's kind of farther away, it gives you the ability to go off and
Let's go.
be a little bit distant, so you don't have to worry about certain status abilities, so you can eat up all of that experience at all of that time period. We're not done with the grinding, by the way. We're just going to continue on here. We're just going to go and continue on here a little bit, because that's pretty much all that we need here at this particular point. In terms of what we were doing earlier, we were using the capabilities of the game's crafting ability, and in guides and everything that was learned on, you learn that you can get really, really good weapons pretty early in the game, just like in Star Ocean 2, where you can get basically one of the best weapons in the game within the first 2 hours of it. Same concept, just by crafting and knowing how to use making your crafting ability really high, equipping the rainbow diamonds, which help with your chances of crafting really good items, and then you play the music, which also helps manipulate the RNG to help give you those particularly good items. Everything kind of plays in the sense that we're going to be using the experience cards to really help quickly improve our experience points, so that we can basically here in a couple of minutes go straight to level 96. And while you can get to level 90, 90 is kind of a good, decent level. Having 96 or above is a good marathon safe route, I've come to realize. And so plot-wise, and I'm sure chat has a bunch of questions about what just happened, but that's what I can try to do. So
Ask the questions
plot-wise,
now.
yeah, plot-wise, we're going over here, we're talking to the kingdom and saying we want to find out where Asmodeus is. We're going to go ahead and try and destroy Asmodeus. We feel as though we possibly can, especially now that our main character is at level 71. And we're going to find out here that we have to, before we learn anything about what's happening with Asmodeus, we have to go through this, the labyrinth of trials. And of course, if you...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you know how to, this is the puzzle area, so if you know what you're doing, I am going to run away from this battle. These can petrify.
Let's go.
And I'm going to safety save. Just in case of the worst case scenario, I was like, it's probably in my better interest to safety save here. So... And again, if you know the puzzle here, it's easy. First, third, fifth, and sixth. Click. So that simplifies that this is open. So before we go anything else, I'm going to have Elia back in the party, and I am going to change her tactic from this to attack with all you've got. And I am actually going to go ahead and put a blackberry on just to be safe.
Okay, so a few questions. Does Star Ocean use encounter and R for RNG like FFX? So like Final Fantasy X?
Enemies.
Repeat that.
Does Star Ocean use encounter and R for RNG?
I'm actually not sure how the encounter actually works here. To be honest with you, I've been wondering if there's like a step manipulation that can be taken or anything else along those lines. So I actually cannot answer that question.
Okay. Another question. Isn't 255 the max level?
Yes, 255 is actually the max level you can have in this game. And if you really wanted to, you can use this tactic, max out the experience, and just completely grind your way all the way up to level 25. It's just, we want like the lowest level, that's the safest level.
So you want
if you wanted to, by all means, go to level 255 with this strat.
Okay, and then another question. You crafted a very high level weapon and then downed a high level mob without any armor or HP then?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, okay.
Pretty much.
And what is the plot of the game?
So far, our plot right now is we've traveled back in time to cure what's known as stone sickness, and we're trying to find the person who we believe was the creator of stone sickness, Asmodeus, to kind of take their blood and give it to our doctors from the future, or I guess in our case, the present, so that we can develop a cure for stone sickness.
Why does this remind me of the anime Dr. Stone in a weird way? Or like the Legends of Legaia. Is that the name of the game? Legaia?
Legends of Legaia, yeah.
Those are like about petrification, right?
Yeah, especially Dr. Stone, especially the anime and manga Dr. Stone. So here's an interesting little tidbit. What's happening here plot-wise is Elia and Ronix, of course, are very much in the vein of they're from Earth and they're not from this land at all, but they're noticing some similarities to, symbology, signaturgy. I never even talked about that. So the way magic works in this game is based off of two possible concepts, symbology and signaturgy. Signaturgy is mostly in the sense of, in terms of Star Ocean lore, signaturgy is to where, if memory serves me correct, you're basically kind of born with the ability to cast certain magic spells, the ability to do that. Signaturgy is more along the lines of the spells get imbued into your body, or you learn it through kind of like a kind of tattoo kind of art to learn certain abilities, learn certain spells. And a lot of this is really acknowledged in much later Star Ocean games in the series. And now after a nice rest, we're basically having a refresher. We have to go to another area called Sylvalant. But again, I forgot to do that. Okay, we're not going there just yet. So Elia and Millie are now going to be in the party. And what I need to do now is learn skills with Elia, who is at 999. And we have to, I'm going to put up her determination a little bit for, and then we're going to max out Stone Beasts. This is important to Elia because what we just got there is explosive kick, I believe. Let's see here. Hold on a second. If I'm remembering correct, it is actually explosive kick here. But essentially, what we're going to be doing here is, lost my train of thought. We're going to go ahead and save. And remember that whole situation of when we were loading, or we were grinding for levels? We're going to do it again.
The grind is real.
Yeah. We want Elia to have explosive kick on because this is RNG is, so for this, I don't need that. I can just put Devil's Aria.
But this is technically the first time you're grinding. Like,
yeah.
In terms of just like working to get the levels. I mean, there was the whole like crafting, but you know, you didn't have to, you know, kill enemies over and over again to get to those levels.
Right. We're also doing this because we want Orange, we want Elia in the party. We want all of them to have experience for what we're about to do. But we want Elia especially to learn a certain beautiful ability with the 4-Beast SFT, as well as with, I'm going to max out Herbology here. And then I'm going to go down here and then... And again, like a lot of this for right now is kind of just a little based off of how I feel today. There's a lot of improvisation in terms of what I feel is really worth it to me in the long run of stuff. So you don't want to put anything else into danger radar because if you do, you actually run the risk of having more enemies pop up because you don't have the ability to go ahead and make things easier. All right, so let's see here. So Elia over here, we have to actually be careful on what we do here. So we need to have, let's see here, Eye for Detail maxed out. And then we need to have Smithing. And then Aesthetic Design. There's that. And then kind of the same thing over here. Eye for Detail, Smithing, and then Aesthetic Design. Okay, and there is that. So we can go ahead and do this again. Because now you notice the leveling is getting a little bit lower. So I'm going to go ahead and... oh, wrong person. So, music, perform Devil's Aria. Pretty much at this particular point, we are, you know.
Keep focused, everyone.
We can't lose this.
We're just going on. So I'm waiting for Elia to learn. I'm learning from. It is, I think, Tortoise Smash is what I'm waiting to hopefully get. Now that is. It is entirely RNG on whether or not Elia gets that. So now that we're all good, we can go ahead and kick Millie out of the party. We're going to go ahead and work on some skills here. Mostly for you to max out your Herbology. And then we'll go ahead and heal our party here. And then we'll go ahead and do this again. And at this particular point, we are trying to get to level 96. So that's mostly what's happening here. And we just kind of keep on going through this whole pattern over and over and over and over again. So essentially until we run out of experience cards, and then once Elia runs out and gets Tortoise Smash, then we're pretty much go here.
Sorry, chat. I'm laughing because an inside joke. Basically.
Nope. All right. So let's see here. And we're gonna do that again. And we are at level 82. And for right now, until we get Tortoise Smash, we have to fight every encounter that we have. It's
Okay,
kind of another reason. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll say it's kind of why we want to go ahead and hopefully get Tortoise Smash while we're doing this, because it essentially, makes it so we can just go ahead and run from these battles. Like, Elia, don't you do the thing? Okay. Nope. So we'll go ahead and throw out some blueberries. We'll do it again.
While you're doing this, just a quick fun question. It's not in regards. In playing the Star Ocean series for the first time, no knowledge, which one is the most difficult to play?
Keep focused, everyone.
You win this?
What would your opinion on that be? I've only played till the end of time, so I can't give too much opinions on that question.
I'd probably say,
Over already?
yeah, there we go. Good Tortoise Smash. I'd probably go off and say the fourth.
The fourth one?
Yeah. Star Ocean till the end of time is probably what I would go off and say. All right, and then we'll go ahead and do that once more. So
Keep focused, everyone.
Now,
Win this?
are the games, my understanding, they're kind of out of order? Or are
Right.
they in order?
So in terms of actual storyline, it actually goes Star Ocean 412
Really was that simple.
65, or so I'm sorry, 412563. 6 is going to come out later on, possibly this year. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this once more because we're not necessarily at level 96. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I saw that. 4 is Last Hope. So that was me.
Oh, okay. Because I get confused. I mean, I've only played, I think, like one game, but I have been wanting to play the whole series because I do
It's a
love
great-
RPGs.
If you like the Tales series,
I love the Tales
if you-
series. Are you saying like
Yeah.
Tales of Symphonia?
yeah, like Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Arise, because they're very similar in nature of what they are. Because if memory serves me correct, Tales came first, and then this was second, or vice versa. Okay, so I'm 95. I can get to 96 relatively easily from here on out, and I have Tortoise Smash actually. So let me go ahead and change that from this to Tortoise Smash, because Tortoise Smash does a lot of damage, as well as it'll give us the ability to kind of stun the enemy while we're doing so, which gives us the ability to get a lot more attack out later on. So I did see that in chat. Yeah, the timeline currently goes in terms of actual timeline in canon. It would be Star Ocean 4, Star Ocean 1, Star Ocean 2, Star Ocean 5, Star Ocean 6, which is yet to be released, and Star Ocean 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, because I was going to ask like someone like me, if I was interested in playing again, which Star Ocean would you start with? Other than like the one I played, obviously, but should I play it in the storyline order or should I just play it in the order that it came out?
It really depends. I would probably encourage you to go off and play it in the 4-1. If you don't mind the graphical difference, I would probably go off and say go with storyline so that you can kind of have an idea of where everything is set and where everything goes in terms of character. But they don't really intertwine characters with the exception of Star Ocean 1 and Star Ocean 2. Those are the only ones that really kind of intertwine. Because Star Ocean 2 is a direct sequel taking place, I think, 20 or so years after Star Ocean 1.
Okay.
And then the other ones take place, 100 years, 75 years, 200 years, everything else along those lines.
I mean, this one was 300, right? Like,
Well,
I mean, inside the game, it's 300, but
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
inside
just
the
saying
game,
the
yeah.
years, yeah.
yeah.
Well, so now, I mean,
Yeah.
I might actually just start playing these games because these were one of the series that I was super interested in, but then I couldn't quite get into it because there's just a lot of other RPGs.
All the games are if you have a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, all are pretty easy to get with the exception of Star Ocean Second Story, because Star Ocean Second Story has not been ported over to modern consoles. It's the only one currently that has not. A lot of people really enjoy that over everything else. All right, so now we're in Silverlance City. I have to, let's see here. I gotta make sure I go through this whole thing. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So we're gonna go ahead and go this way, max out all of this, and then we're gonna go ahead and get 10 of our Potion of Might. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go over here to our skill store, and we're gonna get Combat 3. That is the inn. That is not what I meant to do, but it's okay. It's just a little bit of time, but we get full heal. If you don't have Millie in your party and you go to the inn, actually at that particular point, we need Combat 3, right? Yeah. You get a triggered cutscene to where that's where Millie ends up joining your party. So now we're gonna go up and talk to the castle. Oh, I meant to kind of talk a little bit about what's happening. So when we completed the dungeon earlier, we're basically told that during this particular section that there are 4 kind of emblems that we have to collect in order to figure out what's really going on and why everyone kind of has an idea of who Asmodeus is, but why Asmodeus isn't here at the moment. And each of them kind of have different challenges and everything else along those lines to kind of get where we want to. So over here, they're going to go ahead and give us a complete, because they trust us, they're going to give us the Sylvalon emblem right off the bat. And now we have to go back to Sylvalon. But before we do that, more crafting. You thought we were done. So over here is Santa the Dealer, which I love. So we're going to go over here and get, let's see here. I'm trying to, okay, so we need the magical rasp and our, where is it at? I just saw it. And music editor. And again, we have to sell, once I figure out where it's at.
Oh, someone had a question
Philosopher's
for you.
Stone. Yeah, what's up?
How did you get so knowledgeable?
I
Just
play
like
these
in-
games.
A lot.
Yeah, I play these games a lot. So in the process, like, I play them casually a lot. So I just really kind of got really invested with the story.
So would this be your favorite RPG series?
Yeah, as surprisingly as it is, I think this is my favorite one.
Okay.
And
I still like Golden Sun. I don't know
yeah,
if
actually,
it's up there.
Actually, the one thing about Golden Sun, between this, is that they have the same music composer. I forget who it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they have the same actual composer here. So when you listen to it and you, like, a lot of us say, like, man, this kind of reminds me of, like, Golden Sun and stuff like that. That's mostly why.
Okay. Because there are some things that, I mean, I am reminded of Golden Sun, but I remember that was like on the handheld. There was 3 games, the Golden Sun 2, and then the Dawn one. And that was on the DS, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So let's see here. Did I just save? I'm going to go ahead and save again. The woes of RPGs. Did I say? I did not save. Or if I did, no, I did say. Oh, I did save. So I was actually fine, but
Okay,
I saved anyways.
yeah. Hey, you know what? CC saves are not bad.
Yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and item creation with Ilya, customization. This with, I believe, a diamond. Yeah. And we're looking for not that. Okay, there's our poison. That's what we're looking for that one. And then we're going to go ahead and save here.
Oh, Dark Dawn. That's what it was. Golden Sun Dark Dawn, and it was on the DS. I knew it was there, but I just couldn't remember the title. Sorry, I had a
Green Barrel.
moment.
You're fine. All right, so we're looking for one more thing here. Okay, I got the Mind Soother. That's not what I'm looking for, but that is actually a step in the right direction. So we're going to go ahead and... There are so many over here. I have to remember what I'm going through. So we're going to customize once again this rod with Green Barrel.
When you were first learning this, were you having a hard time with the menu?
Yeah, it takes it takes a little bit of time to get used to. All right, and then we got the Mind Soother, and then so we need to do that with the diamond to create. Not that. Not that. Come on, game. That is not what I wanted.
Oh,
there,
Skies
last one, Rod of the
Arcadia.
Feather. So
I would be down for that one.
So now we're going to go in and give you Rod of the Feather. And Elia gets rid of the Rainbow Diamonds, goes back to the Zerker Ring, and goes back to the Silver Cross. I'm going to give you this weapon here. So now we're going to go back to over here, which would be over at Ektart. I think. No. It is Portmouth. Yeah. That's what I was looking for. Because there is a castle here that we have yet to explore.
Sorry. The inside joke. Do you want me to bring up Keemstar or no? I mean, I brought it up, but...
Nah. All right. So once again, like the first time we were over here, they find out that there's a lot of really, really tough enemies that's in essentially their treasure hall. And so they sanction us because we're supposed to be the ones that are really supposed to defeat Asmodeus. They sanction us to kind of go off and defeat that. There are some really, really, really good weapons here, but the catch is we lose them once we defeat the enemy. Or so they think. So we're going to go ahead and go all the way down here.
Let's go.
So I have to be careful because
Let's go.
these enemies can petrify you. And what I've realized is there's a very, very small frame window, as in maybe 1 or 2 frames, where it looks like you left the battle. You actually didn't, and there's like a 1 or 2 frame window where they can actually attack and petrify you, and it was very painful in the sense of I was a couple minutes ahead. I was on a really good pace while practicing, and I was basically off the map, but I ended up being petrified and lost a lot of time because of it. Did I go the rope? Yeah, I did. Okay.
Also, chat, just to kind of give some context about the joke, Midnight gets a reference to Keemstar a lot.
Let's see here.
And so the joke between me and him is just, I don't know. He always denies me, basically. That's kind of the inside joke.
Actually, no, I don't actually need that.
And we place bets to see how long it takes for Keemstar to be mentioned in chat. Because apparently Midnight is Keemstar's doppelganger.
All right, so we're gonna go with 2 luxury sword. I remember that Damascus I did. Let's see if it works. What I just saved. Nope. There, the dueling sword. Dueling sword, if memory serves me correct, is the strongest weapon in the game. You cannot get it. Look at that. 24-28.
Not bad.
So I'm going to go ahead and save. And that's basically all the crafting we have to do from here on out. And then I'm going to go ahead and put, for safety reasons, Elias back in here. Mavel, I don't really need you anymore, so I'm going to put you up there. And then we're going to go ahead and talk to the succubus. And succubus is like, this is my area.
Charge!
And, well, no. So you can see how much damage I'm doing now.
Wow.
So earlier I was, not doing a little bit. Now I'm doing, 6,000, averaging around upper 30s, 40s, maybe 6,000 being that. Okay, so there is my 96. That is perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to save here just in case, for some odd and strange reason, that I run into the same situation that I had earlier. And then Elia is going to be put here. Actually, I'm going to put Ronick, swap them out. All right. So we're going to knock this out. Go ahead and leave the castle here.
I had a question, but now I don't know if this was in reference to what you were talking about. There's a part that you were the most scared of earlier. I don't know if that's going to trigger anything.
I'm pretty much safe now. The one part that I was really kind of scared of was a lot of the crafting or getting some of the SP to where, like, with Elia, there was one time where I got to a point in practice to where the abilities that I needed Elia to learn were learned at the beginning of the game. So in the process, I couldn't progress any further because the abilities that she had, the game just said you're already starting the game with these. So the problem was mostly built around I need to go ahead and grind, and that area was really, really difficult.
Okay. Thank you for answering that, because and now I understand, because even me myself, I was like kind of questioning that as well.
So here we're learning about what's known as the Eye of Truth, and they don't necessarily know where the Eye of Truth is because when, a long time ago, they all separated the emblems and don't know much about it, and they all kind of have missing pieces to the puzzle, but none of them really decided, let's all get together and find and solve this puzzle. They all just kind of went and said, the warriors will come, and when the warriors come, they will solve everything on their own. And so they all have missing pieces, and that's another reason why we have to collect the emblems so we can get the entire piece of the puzzle. So we can get all that taken care of. And then we can go to Trop. We'll be going back to Trop a lot because when we go to the Astral Kingdom, it's the same length through each individual one, but Trop just feels easier for me in the long run. But so far, we're at a decent enough pace.
Let's go.
And then we're going to go ahead and collect our last emblem here, which is in the Astral Kingdom.
Oh,
And
well,
then-
do you stream Midnight? That is a good question.
I do stream. I stream a lot on Twitch if you want to, at twitch.tv/midnight_Vesper. I stream this a lot. I do stream a lot of the Star Ocean games. So if you are a big fan of Star Ocean, you'll probably see me for a while playing a lot of the Star Ocean games. Because it's one of my favorite serials to stream as a whole.
Well, you're also learning Kingdom Hearts 2 Randomizer too.
I am, yes. Yeah, I am going to start learning the KH2 Rando. There's a couple other things on my docket that I am not going to say that I'm learning.
Oh. Secret.
Yeah. The question in the chat, let's see. I assume you plow through the end at this point. Yeah, pretty much. And so this is our last one of the emblems. And then we find out, okay, so we have the other three. That means we are worthy. And the emblems are so secret that guards are not allowed to listen to it. No one's really truly allowed to listen to it outside of whatever it is. And the fourth thing here are 4 random phrases. No one really knows, they don't know what it means, but, that's what those 4 phrases truly represent. And so now we have the 4th one. So we're going to go back to the Van Kingdom.
Let me know when it is good to have a good break point for you, by the way.
Okay. So this could actually work pretty well as a good break point because we just collected all 4 of the Van emblems. So let me go ahead and get control. Okay. We'll go ahead and pause again in 3, 2, 1, pause.
Awesome. Well, thank you for showing us this game, Midnight Vesper. We are just momentarily getting into a break, another 5-minute break. It's good to stretch out your legs, go to the bathroom, get some water, different things like that. So in the meantime, before we head on out, just a reminder that if you're watching on YouTube, go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content starting most nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then if you have any ideas for your own show or one-off events, feel free to go to the GamesDoneQuick.com/hotfix to submit your ideas. And stay tuned, everybody. We're just going to take a 5-minute break. Well, welcome back, everyone. This is Rue bringing you some more Legally Q. And the game that we are playing right now is the Star Ocean Star Ocean First Departure R. We are coming back, and Midnight Vesper is bringing you some more, I'm guessing more menuing. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. More bad RNG. No, just kidding. But yeah, just before we head off into the show, just remember that there are some events coming up in February. The first one is the Unapologetically Black and Fast is coming up. This is the new reoccurring Hotfix Marathon. Black runners are front and center in a celebration of Black joy. The first integration is running February 12th and 13th for 12 hours a day. The schedule will be released February 1st. Ooh, look out for that. And then the Frost Hotels is February 27th to March 5th. Use the command FF in chat or go to GamesDoneQuick.com/FrameHotels for more info. All right, Midnight, are you ready to take it away?
Yeah, let's go ahead and continue on Star Ocean in 3, 2, 1, go. So now that we've collected all 4 of our emblems, we're going to go ahead and go right back to the Van Kingdom where all this started and let them know, hey, we went ahead and collected all the emblems. What's next? And that's pretty much where we're going. In terms of like what we were talking about with the menuing, that's all pretty much well and good and done. So we're just going to go back to Trop and just kind of backtrace our steps.
Let's go.
Luckily, the enemies here aren't as strong, so we can go ahead and get all this taken care of. And we have everyone at a decent level. Fun fact, even though with all of this, the final boss can still be a little tricky, so we're going to see how this all plays out when we get to the final boss. But we're going to go ahead and go to Ekdart. So we're going to go ahead and continue our journey going back to the Van Kingdom. This is kind of a thing you will see in the Star Ocean games. Is there is a lot of going back and forth between different.
Let's go.
Different like areas, different castles. Like in Star Ocean 4, you can kind of travel from planet to planet to planet to planet.
I have a very, very important question for you. It's
okay.
So important that I have to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
The most important question of all evening, or all day. The most important question: how long did it take to grow your beard ponytail?
Let's go.
So let's see here. I think I started fully growing it around November of 2020. I think that's when the beginning of November. So it's been a year and 3 months roughly since I growing this out. So
Let's go.
that is
you for that.
a very, very, that is actually a very, very important question. I appreciate everyone that enjoyed that. It's fun to grow.
Alrighty, so now we'll wrap it back into this game.
We're surrounded.
Yeah, so we're kind of in a little bit of a lower end, only because we're going back to this section to say we went ahead and completed all of our information, and then we have to go off and talk through that. Like this Star Ocean is a very, very heavily dialogue-based game, which when you play casually is great because it gives you a nice big depth of lore, everything else along those lines. Oh, I did forget to mention, when they started to make Star Ocean, they very much echoed in the TV series Star Trek or the movie series Star Trek, everything else along those lines. So when you go through this and you kind of see a lot of the you go off and you don't really interfere with people's planets. You don't really interfere, but you kind of explore and see what the world is. That's kind of where they got that idea from. This is very much based around the Star Trek universe.
Wait, the Star Trek universe? Sorry. That just dawned on me.
Yeah, they were when they were making this original game, they were very heavily influenced by Star Trek in terms of the concept of what the UP3 was and concept of how Earthlings can't really interfere with underdeveloped planets, everything else along those lines. Or if they were to interfere, you basically had to go with them. You couldn't go back. And then because then you're kind of interfering with the entire structure of the planet and the planetary growth because you want them all to kind of grow organically.
Retreat.
I did see this in chat, someone asking about this game. This is a remaster of a remake. So while this is a PS4/Nintendo Switch remaster of the game Star Ocean First Departure, which was released on the PSP, and that was a full-on remake of the Super Nintendo game Star Ocean, which I believe was released in 1996. If memory serves me correct, this is the 25th anniversary, or they're celebrating the 25th anniversary this year when they announced Star Ocean 6: The Divine Force. And I was very excited when they announced that game.
Yeah, don't you have a clip of it? I remember.
Yeah.
You had a clip of it. You were looking at it and you didn't believe it was happening, and you were like, it's not gonna happen, and then all of a sudden it happens. That was awesome. I loved your reaction.
So I didn't say anything about the private action. So if you notice on the top when I came over here, there's this thing on the top that says private action. So when you go through each individual game casually, when you go through towns, you have these private actions to where everyone leaves your party and you can interact with them. This can change the influence of your characters and ultimately change the ending of whatever game you're playing. So theoretically, if I wanted to, I could have more interaction with Elia than anyone else, and I will get an ending with Roddick and Elia, or what's known as Elia's ending, to the entire arc. And like I said earlier, I think this game has 10 or 12 different endings, with Star Ocean's second story being the most, which I think has 80 endings roughly.
80?
And then Star Ocean 3, 4, and 5, I think have around 6 or 7. I'm not 100% on the amount of endings. So.
Wait, so there's a best ending?
Well, there's not necessarily a best ending as much as it is there's different endings based off of who you are interacting with, and having influence for.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. So now we're going to go to the Purge Temple. And I went way too far, I think. No, I was right. But notice we passed the Purge Temple because it's locked. So we can't obviously get in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to look around, we're going to go around, and we're going to see that here's a secret entrance over here. So normally if you casually play this game, you'd come here a lot earlier. And this is where you get one of the Feather Folk, which is another native Rokian planet, which is someone with feathers. They're mostly assigned with healing arts, with the healing kind of signaturgy or symbology. That would be your other healer, and I think the name in this one is Joshua. If memory serves me correct. It's been a while since I've played this casually enough to where I can go through that.
So I do kind of have a question after you're done with this.
That was weird. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So 80 endings, is that like, oh, whoops, 1 second. Is that each combo of 3 factors counts as an ending, or 80 distinct endings? So
80 distinct endings.
Okay.
So they're mostly based around like the oops, that's not my one. They're mostly based around your interaction. So if you, like in Star Ocean 2, you can have an ending with, you know, person, you know, you can have it with, I forget some of the names, but like each character has its own ending. And then I think it's all based around the interactions of other things that you do throughout the entire game.
That is pretty cool.
And keep in mind, when they did that, that was on the PlayStation 1. So, that was like monumental for its time period to have that many different endings for its time period.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, I can't even think of another game that has that many endings. Like,
yeah,
I just can't. I mean, I know there's other games that do have multiple endings, but not as high as 80.
Yeah. I did also forget to mention, this is kind of an offside. The original Super Nintendo is up there with Final Fantasy VI as one of the biggest games to be released on the Super Nintendo. Really? So, if I'm correct, Final Fantasy VI is the largest, or like most, I guess, yeah, the largest game in terms of like megabytes and storage, and I think this one is up there as well. Keep in mind, this came out the same year as the Nintendo 64, so that also may have been a reason why this game was not released in America. So I'm gonna save here as well, because we're running into a very, very, very interesting area here, and not necessarily here, but more so what we're going to see. And we're gonna go over here to this orange one. And of course, these are all puzzles, and if you play the game, you kind of like, you have to figure out what everything is if you want to grab all the chests and stuff like that. And so these enemies, if memory serves me correct, are strong to magic, so we're just going to normally attack them.
We're surrounded.
So there's that boss. Again, we're supposed to be here a little bit earlier, and that's mostly one of the reasons why we kind of go through that boss fight a little bit easier, because, you know, we're not supposed to be easily this high of a level to attack that. And so there, Bronix and Ilya are commenting that this looks absolutely nothing like what should be on this Earth, and something feels really off. And so now we have these 3 protectors who are protecting what's beyond the wall, and then they notice that we have all 4 emblems, and they're like, okay, so now you're going to see the Eye of Truth. We advise you not to do it, but if you have all these emblems, that mostly means that you're good. Now, this is where things get tricky. They warped us to somewhere we've never really been before, and this looks absolutely nothing like it should be for this particular planet. This technology is way too far advanced for this section here. And we're gonna go through here, and we're gonna grab... We're gonna go through here. There's already a computer system that says there's an intruder alert, says there's a sensor detected. We're gonna go ahead and attack these enemies and hope for the best. They don't do what I hope. Okay, good. We're fine. So those kind of pincer attacks can be really deadly with that level of enemy, because they can drain your HP very, very fast without you knowing. And if you're by yourself, it is kind of a problem. And so now we have the R card, which, if you know anything, these are ID cards. And Elia says they look like security cards, and not naturally, Ronix and Elia, coming from an underdeveloped planet, have absolutely no idea what an R card is. So, did not mean to do that. But as you can see now, what's happening here is,
Let's go.
I gotta make sure. Okay, we're now able to open up the red doors because it's an R card. Because the R represents the color red, we can go ahead and open up all the red doors. So we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning of the Purgatorium. We don't want to leave. It's not that much of a time loss if we leave. It's just, you know, a little bit of a pain. And we're gonna go all the way through here, run through some of these enemies here.
Let's go. Let's go.
If you've played Star Ocean Second Story, you'll notice that some of the sprites look surprisingly the same. Like I was mentioning earlier, a lot of the game's data here was pulled essentially from Star Ocean Second Story in terms of its design. And now we're going to go ahead and grab all of these switches. And if you notice on the right side of the screen, that door will close. If we don't have the R card, we're essentially stuck in there.
I think there's a lot of good questions about the remastered versus remake versus. It's kind of interesting how this game has been remastered and remade.
All right. Ow. Yeah, so again, they basically took the PSP version of this particular game, upped some of the graphics, made it a little bit more graphically friendly, and then went off and released it here on the PS4 and on the Nintendo Switch. So you can actually play this with the updated kind of character designs that are around here, or you have the capabilities of going off and playing with the original PSP graphics that were everything in there. Voice acting, I believe, is exactly the same. And I think all the voice actors have come in and like they're all the same voice acting that was in the PSP. And basically all they did was take it and made it available in 1080 in full HD, and then just go ahead and put it on Nintendo Switch and the PS4. It's really interesting because I love going off and saying it's a remaster of a remake of a game.
Let's go.
It's so, yeah, I'm not getting it straight. It's like Inception, but just like it's the remaster or the remake of the game. Okay, there you go. I got it.
Yeah.
It's just such an interesting way to put it, but it's true.
Yeah. And so now they're finally realizing what all the four emblems were going together. And so now we have our final puzzle here, which you may think is a little bit easy or a little bit difficult because you have to like listen to everything. But in reality, if you just go down one and then wait for that last one to pop up, and you're good to go. And it's open. So now we're going to go ahead and enter in here and figure out what this new this new technology here is. I gave a little bit of a spoiler just a second ago.
No spoilers, please.
Well, you're going to be spoiled. Like the spoiler is basically right here. So that looks familiar. That looks like Earth. But what is this? This is an island. Why is this an island here? So it's apparently the continent of Mu. And what had happened was Mu kind of saw that with the technology they were having really, really good technology, and that Earth was kind of being destroyed. So in the process of that, they went ahead and created the Eye of Truth, and with their technology, basically left the entire planet a long time ago and landed here on Roke. and then just kind of hid in the shadows as a way of hiding the Eye of Truth and kind of hiding everything else that they needed to be taken care of.
Oh.
And so now we have the Eye of Truth. The Eye of Truth gives us the ability to go into the Dark World.
Oh. By the
And
way,
the Dark
Mew,
World is hopefully... Go ahead.
Mew as in the Pokemon Mew?
No, no.
That's
Mew
your
as
favorite.
in the, Greek alphabet Mew.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought of Mew, so I don't know which
Yeah.
one's correct. Of course, I'm biased on that. No, that is interesting. This is actually going to be really cool. So you're going to go into the Dark World now.
Yes. And so now we're going to go up and say, yep, we figured out, we got the Eye of Truth. And now we have to go to this area and go ahead and, find out who has go with their best motives. And, that's and a transport to this beautiful town. I love this. Look at the girl. She built this amazing snowman. Look at that snowman. It's such a beautiful, beautiful snowman. It would be a really shame if
What? What?
Well,
Okay.
I think that snowman has melted.
I think so too.
So we're not happy. That was unnecessary. We're gonna go take care of that. And this is gonna sound weird, but we're actually going to Sylveon, but instead we're actually gonna go down this way because it's actually faster to do this rather than going all the way over to get the Sylveon.
I'm a little. That's Snowman, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's go.
I think they're totally fine.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're all okay. Everything, So, fun fact is, I don't remember if this was actually added into I think this was added into the PSP version. So, there's a character that's known in the Star Ocean universe as kind of an NPC or slash FMV character slash playable character in Star Ocean First Departure and Star Ocean Second Evolution, not Second Story, is a character known as Welch. Welch is it's hard to describe Welch, but I don't remember if it was added in this version or in the PSP version, but in this one, Welch is actually a playable character. You can recruit Welch by basically being in this section. You go into the forest, you find a small village, and then you can recruit Welch. It's not in the original Star Ocean, which is a shame because I love Welch. All right, and then we're gonna go to this deserted island. And pretty much here is where we're gonna go to say, oh, this is where the Dark World is.
So
And we're all like, all right, we gotta do this. We have to go off for this. For everyone else, to cure the stone sickness, we have to do this. Hopefully I can get to the menu because there was something I forgot to do. I should be able, yeah, okay. So for this one, we want to have Millie, we want to have Elia in the party. I'm going to switch them. And we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and go straight into this. But first, remember the character, yeah, the shields, the Crimson Shields? Crimson Shield's like, yeah, I'm not letting you through.
Let's take our time. Be careful, everyone.
But remember that potion of might we were looking for? We're going to grab that. And now we're doing a little bit extra damage here. Also, the animation of them, these enemies getting hit is just fantastic. There we go.
I'd say that was 8 out of 10.
So there's that enemy down, and then we find out that the that kind of the Dark Knight was kind of here the whole time, was being a little bit mind controlled, and really regret everything that the Crimson Shield was doing. But you know, in its moment of redemption, we ended up finalizing its last moments. But now we have to go. You know, we have to realize that the person that we were attacking earlier is now wreaking havoc on this planet. Or on this. So we're going to go ahead and attack this enemy. And yes, casually, you don't really get much of a break between that. So we're going to use another potion of might. And we're just going to drag and roar, and this enemy is now gone. And so now that we all have that taken care of, a guardsman's like, you all did a fantastic job. Oh, wait, you were summoned by so-and-so? Well, you know, it's like, oh, you have all 4 emblems. That means we have to get you a nifty sword. Technically 2 nifty swords. And if you've played Star Ocean 4, you know what those swords are. If you remember the lore of Star Ocean 4.
Is that one that's the last hope?
Yes.
Then no, I didn't play that one. I only played till the end of time. That's the only one I know.
And this is so secret that even the guard who got us in here is not allowed to be in this, but their job is now to protect, to make sure we get these particular weapons. Now, if you play this casually, these are really good weapons, considering that we've already upgraded to a really good weapon. We're not going to need this. So it's just like, it's just the sword hilt. Huh, that looks a little odd. It's just the hilt. Why does it have a hilt? Why is it just like a, oh. It's a laser sword, not to be confused with something else in another franchise altogether.
Okay, you might want to refresh the chat's memory, including mine, even though I don't have a memory of it because I didn't play it. But it's good to refresh the memory.
All right, so I gotta make sure I do this right.
Is it a lightsaber?
Yeah, it's pretty much a lightsaber. So in Star Ocean 4, you find what is it wasn't Diaz, it was chat will remind me, but there's one character who, when you meet them, has beam swords. They're a non-playable character, but they show up in a massive cutscene with 2 beam swords, and then they actually do, depending on the ending that you gets transported to this particular planet way before this happens, and is predicted about what's going to happen here. So to make sure everything is protected when they go, they leave the beam swords over to the guards here and say, protect this until the warriors come to beat Asmodeus, essentially, or who can, get these emblems. And that's gonna annoy me for a tiny bit because I can't remember his name in there.
I think chat might have said it. Is it Zero?
No, it's not Zero.
Oh, okay.
For reference, it is in Star Ocean 4. It's the main. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? It's the main hero's kind of like best friend that you never get a chance to really hang out with.
Okay, now I have to look this up. Star Ocean already said, right?
Looks like this is serious. Time to retreat.
Character.
That was it. Crow. Someone got it. Crow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone in chat got it for me. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna save a couple times here, only because
This win can't make this harder than it has to be. Let's withdraw.
save here because this part can get a little bit dicey. So even at level 96, there's still a good chance for this to really figure out. And now we find out this is where Asmodeus has been hiding for this, this whole time. So we're going to enter in this particular area. This is the space-time laboratory. And then we notice that Asmodeus has been making these demons to go into the other world and kind of terrorize the entire planet. So all the villains that we've been fighting have been developed by Asmodeus the whole time. For right now, just to be safe, I'm going to take Ilya and Millie out of the party. And then we're going to go all the way down here, avoiding pretty much anything and everything that we have.
Let's go.
So we're going to go ahead and
Retreat.
hopefully we don't have to worry about getting petrified, because if we get petrified here, then it's a little bit of a problem. Oh, wait, that's not right. No, wait. Uh-oh, did I go the wrong way?
Let's go.
Midnight.
Hmm?
What's your typical streaming schedule?
I normally stream mostly. Okay, yeah. Wait, that's right, I think. I mostly stream from 2 to 7, or I try to do every day. And some days, depending on my work schedule, 2 to 7 p.m. Eastern. I try to get always around that time. Sometimes my work schedule can fluctuate a little bit, and then I have to call out certain days. So, okay. So this is my favorite section. So now we have these really high computers, and we're gonna try logging in because it's all password protected, right? So the name for a password, Asmodeus. Yeah, that seems fair. Huh. Their account name is Asmodeus. That's pretty okay. That's interesting. Now the password, we're not necessarily sure. Okay, that didn't even work. Well, we're gonna try Asmodeus as for their password, because Asmodeus as a name and Asmodeus as a password is, for scientists or people who explore space, that seems right. And lo and behold, we have Asmodeus. But now we're not gonna fight Asmodeus here. Asmodeus sends some fun enemies to go off and attack here.
We're surrounded.
And you wanted to say something?
Yeah, are all Star Oceans connected, or they have their own stories?
It's kind of a mixture of both. In the grand scheme of the universe, yes, there are characters. There are characters that connect. There are a way to connect all of them in some way, shape, or form. But with the exception of Star Ocean 1 and 2, they all have separate plots. And the only thing that kind of connects Star Ocean 1 and 2 is that the main character in Star Ocean 2 is actually Ronix's son. But in reality, they're all kind of separate games. You don't have to play them. You can pop in whenever and kind of have an idea and be fine. But knowing the overarching plot makes certain lines, certain dialogue, certain things that be a little bit better overall.
And
So,
another
go ahead.
question. Basically, if someone was interested to play in the series, right, for more of the older ones, I mean, this one's a remaster of the remake, but for like other ones that are on the, I know Till the End of Time was PS2, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So for like games like those, are there any more that have been remastered, or like do
So
they?
you can get. Go ahead.
Go. No, you go ahead.
All right.
You're basically answering.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put Crush on here. I'm gonna go ahead and check this out, and then okay. Oh man, I totally forgot. Oh, all the games with the exception of Star Ocean 2 are available on a PlayStation 4. So if you have a PlayStation 4, you can get Star Ocean 1, 3, 4, and 5 at the moment. Star Ocean 2, you still can only get on the PSP as Star Ocean Second Story, or the PlayStation as Star Ocean Second Story, PSP version of Star Ocean Second Evolution. Asmodeus can be a little tricky. I probably should have saved before I got in here, but that's fine. We get a full heal before we go into it. Considering we're at 96, we should be okay.
Power against power.
So we're immediately going to try and...
Enjoy this.
So we're immediately going to try and cast Crush before Asmodeus attacks, because that nullifies whatever attack and stuns for a short amount of time, which gives us the straight ability to immediately attack. But as you can see, Asmodeus does a lot of damage. And keep in mind, Elia is at level 90, I'm at level 96, and Asmodeus is still doing a lot of damage here. And that's one of the reasons why we have Millie here, is to make sure that we don't end up having the situation. And that's it. So that is Asmodeus. That is not time.
How could a superhuman like me lose?
Is time going to be very soon?
No. No.
Okay. I mean, I know we have some time left on the estimate, but I know things haven't gone that badly.
Yeah. So now Asmodeus was gone, and then so these new individuals pop up. We're supposed to get Asmodeus's blood so we can cure stone sickness, right?
Oh yeah,
well,
right.
They immediately grab Millie. We're going to try and protect Millie, and then they're over here, and what they're going to do is kind of do the same thing. They're known as the third party. That's something new that we have. They take the blood of Asmodeus. They decide to rough and tough us before they end up warping out. So we make sure everything's all right. Asmodeus is still kind of there. So what's going to happen here is we're going to grab some of the blood, and we're going to end up still getting the cure. We defeated the Archfiend Asmodeus, so we're all good there, right? Everything's good. We're going to go ahead and get back in the time. Unfortunately, for the sake of Mavell had absolutely no idea what was going on. Mavell just thought they were just strangers from another world. All four of them like, well, now we kind of have to go and leave Mavell behind. We can't tell Mavell about who or what we are, so we just have to flat out leave. We can't say goodbye. We can't really do much of anything like that. We're just gonna just go ahead and get back to our present time. Go ahead and get hopefully get the cure up and running. And we'll see what happens.
Is this one of those moments again? I'm waiting to see what happens.
We're all kind of somber because we have to leave and without saying goodbye. Naturally, if you play this casually, you'd have about 4 more people in your party that you'd have to say goodbye to without. You wouldn't even say goodbye. You would just leave them, and then they would be like, "Man, whatever happened to those individuals?"
Okay, because it looks good.
So yeah, but here you go. Back in Boarding House, they succeeded in replicating the serum, and they end up curing stone sickness. After producing a large quantity of the serum, it is shipped off to Roke, where it arrives safely, and everyone is fine. Dorn is cured. Everyone is okay. Things can get back to normal.
I don't have a feeling.
And they all,
Go ahead.
And they all have a nice, joyous, See? And now here's the time where we have to say goodbye. Now, of course, with the whole thing of the UP3, technically, they're not supposed to stay on the planet, but essentially Roddick and Millie and Dorn go off and say, we're not going to tell a soul, we're not going to do anything, we're just kind of going to keep us a secret between us 3, and that's it. And that's it. So now they left, and that's kind of how everything. Oh, wait. So we didn't really finish defeating Asmodeus and kind of getting everything kind of taken care of. So what that third party did was they went off and took the serum and went to another planet and created a much more powerful monster called GA Revorce, who's now bent on destroying the galaxy, typical evil shenanigans. So now our job is Planet Military is to go ahead and stop GA Revorce. Even then, we're not necessarily sure if we can do it by ourselves. So naturally, Ronix and Elia decide, well, looks like the commander of the underdeveloped, the UP3 and the Starfleet decided, well, I guess if you need a couple extra members of your crew, you could get the band back together. And essentially that's what's going to happen. Millie and Roddick are just kind of living their lives. And then they notice something. Hey, look, there's some people over there. What do you know? It's actually Ronix and Elia saying, hey, that mission where we actually decided to finish off Stone Sickness, well, we need you for another mission. And then you also realize they actually traveled back in time and got your party members. So it really is bringing the whole band back together. So not only is Mavelle, in a new starship in a place that Mavelle doesn't completely understand, she is also 300 years in the future. And so now our mission is to go off and destroy GA Revorce. GA Revorce is actually the final boss of this game and can still be very, very tricky, considering we're up 96. So we're going to go ahead and attack GA Revorce. We're on planet Farget. But the third party kind of noticed that we were here. And we're not 100% sure if we can handle all of them. This could be a problem for all of us. And, that was a smoke bomb. So someone's protecting us, but oh no, Millie, we're over here. Millie, come to hear my voice. Oh no, Millie's been captured. So now we're gonna save Millie before we end up taking on GA Revorce. And essentially, these were Earthlings that crash landed on this planet. Their job was to try and survive based on everything they had with all the technology, and eventually realized they can probably build machines to kind of help everything else along those lines. Well, those machines decided to kind of spread off, and essentially, if memory serves me correct, that's when they were going to go off and create GA Revorce. So I'm going to go ahead and put Elia. Actually, I'm going to put you here, and then that's not right, but okay. There. All right. And now we're going to go off and go health and save. And that was a warning basically saying that from here on out, in terms of casually playing, we can't go back. Once I hit that save and save over mine, there is no turning back to Rogue. There is no extra grinding. There is none of that. And now I have to remember which one is which. There we go. So we're going to go over to our prison to help free Millie. And of course, you still have enemies that spawn here and stuff like that.
We're surrounded.
With beautiful Super Nintendo cartridges.
Let's go.
Those things flying in the air, they very much look like Super Nintendo cartridges, and I don't necessarily know why, but we're going to go ahead and open up this section. And then we're gonna go ahead and go over here. Go grab this green as well. We heard a door open. I'm gonna go all the way over here, and lo and behold, there's Millie. And Ilya has amazing lockpicking skills. So we're gonna go ahead and open up the door so Millie can escape. They're gonna hug, and that's all nice and happy. And now is the final section of the game where we go off and attack GA Reverse. Well, really, it's Reverse, and then the second phase of it is GA Reverse, if memory serves me correct. And in typical Star Ocean fashion, usually the final dungeon is a little bit confusing.
I mean, yep. I can only relate to one game, though.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I had enough. I don't think they have any... No, okay, I'm good. Okay. All right. So, Millie is in my party. We want to go ahead and put Millie out of the party. Sorry. There.
So, I was noticing, and I think I asked this earlier and we touched on it earlier, but when it comes to like removing the characters and all that, I know earlier, you know, we wanted that character because it only gets the stats of that. But how come they can only go in it at certain times?
Let's go.
What do you mean? Maybe...
I mean, earlier I know it was because of like leveling, but like right now, why did Millie get removed? Basically.
Oh, I'm keeping her out of the party just to make sure it doesn't lower my ability to my speed of leaving the party.
Okay.
Because like we discussed earlier, when someone's at a lower level, it kind of evens out. So I basically put them out of the party to make sure that I can escape as fast as I possibly can.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
So it's just basically the same thing, just later?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so now we're going into the underground tunnel. This is where you find some of the survivors that are just kind of trying to live the best life they possibly can under the circumstances. And so our job is simply, we're going to go off and get rid of GA Reverse. And this is the final dungeon of the game. If the music was any indication to you, that's what it would be. And this, like I said, this can be a little bit tricky. If you're playing this game casually, you basically get to the very last section and kind of go all the way down, and then you get to the bonus dungeon that's here, where I think they did change the music from the oops. It's this one. From the PSP version, I think. But it's still really tricky because like even at level like 96, when I was kind of messing around with it earlier, it still can be somewhat tricky if you don't necessarily know what's going on.
Let's go. Let's go.
Because even then, as soon as I hit run, depending on the enemy, usually it's just a immediate, that's it, you're good. And then you just have to hope that the enemy's speed in the map can't catch up to you as fast as you leaving. And so we're just going to go ahead and go through all of this. It's like... This and Star Ocean 2 have a weird dungeon because you'll go down to basements and then you'll start going up, and when you start going back up in there, you're gonna start questioning yourself and being like, wait, why am I going back up the dungeon? Am I going the right path? And then you start, casually questioning yourself.
Let's go.
All right, so yeah. Sometimes you got to be a little bit careful because you can get into accidental rooms where like certain cutscenes will trigger and they'll end up slowing time. So, but outside of that, this if you just like anything, like a lot of times the game will kind of give you an idea of what's going on. I'm gonna safety save here, just to be extra careful, because you never really know what's going to happen. There are some tricky enemies in here that can kind of have a lot of incredible speed and can actually give you some extra damage here. So,
I'm sorry, but all this tower climbing. Bringing back memories.
Let's go.
well, we're not actually climbing as much as we are going lower
down.
into. We're going the opposite, yeah.
Yeah, you're going more down and down.
Yeah.
I really do need to... Oh, go ahead.
And then Star Ocean 2, you go up a giant tower. So, and what were you saying?
Oh, I was going to say, I am going to start playing this game casually, not speedrunning.
Yeah.
But
it's casually, it's a really fun, really good series, especially when you get to the later games to where it becomes, you know, they kind of get their footing, and they like Tri-Ace, who makes this game, really helps expand the lore of Star Ocean.
Let's go.
yeah, earlier you like the explanation of this game. The storyline is complicated, but not as complicated as Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
And I understand Kingdom Hearts, so if I get Kingdom Hearts, I think I could get Star Ocean.
If you play in chronological order 4, 1, 2, 5, 3, it does help.
Okay.
Kind of explain some of the story arcs, but there's still a lot of gaps in terms of the story right now. So
Let's go.
there are questions that right now even some of the higher end people who dive deep into the lore of Star Ocean can't fully explain. And then there's, you know, stuff in the rumor mill. Okay. So I am actually going the right way. We're near the end. We're near the end.
I actually do understand Kingdom Hearts only because of a YouTube video. That is the only reason why. I would not have understood Kingdom Hearts without that video. It's a very good video too. It helps you understand a lot behind the storyline, because the storyline is complex.
All right, so the puzzle is complete.
Let's go.
We're getting ready to approach
Retreat.
our final save and then going into our final 2 boss battles with Reborse and GA Reborse. If you go down, you end up going to the bonus section. All right, final save. So we're gonna go ahead and replace Mavel. We're gonna have Elia. We're gonna have Millie. So actually what I need to do here is put these 2 in, and there's actually a reason for the placement of the battle. Resave. Everyone should have final equipment. Let me do a quick equipment check. So you have... You don't have anything. Oh, see, that's why I was like, let me go ahead and do it. So we need the fairy charm, and then we need to go ahead and put the silver cross on you, just for right now in case something bad happens. All right, so now we approach the final section. The first phase shouldn't be bad. If the first phase is bad, it makes the second phase that much worse. So,
This is tough.
How many phases is there?
2.
Okay, 2. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. That's good. We get the crush, and then immediately after gets hit with the dragon roar. So we're gonna see what. Oh, that's not good. I meant to. Okay. So we got through the first phase really well.
Nice. Nicely done.
Wow. Okay. That's good. We'll skip this cutscene because that was a really good first phase. And then on to the second phase where the Star Ocean main theme plays.
Let's take our time here.
Accept your
But-
fate and kneel down for your divine purging.
Why does that remind me of Gargoyles? Or Gargoyles?
Okay. I can kind of see that from
The kid, like,
So, but-
cartoon?
Yeah, yeah. This is gonna be really because you can see right there. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Okay, that's a problem. Oh, let's see here.
Smash!
Oh, wait, I know. Yeah, I was afraid of that because I
Seraphic storm,
messed this up a little bit.
bathe yourself in my light.
That made. Okay, good. Come on. There we go. All right.
Tortoise! As long as I'm still moving.
Ooh, this is really,
And I got that.
I wanted it to die.
Yeah, this is not good here.
So sleepy.
This may be a game over.
I'm still alive.
This may be a game over.
did you have a safety save at least? Yeah, you did, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so
This guy is in
All right.
like a truck.
yeah. So hopefully we can get some more fairy lights out.
This battle has been decided.
Oh, okay. That's actually
Back the clock.
I don't know.
You will
Um.
sleep now. Sleep eternally.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. Fairy healing.
I need that.
This is suspenseful.
Yeah. So it's I know what I did, but I'm gonna try and fix it.
I'm still moving.
Ah, come on. Ah.
So what went wrong?
Hold on.
Okay.
So so Mavel should not have attacked.
I needed that.
So at this particular point, it's about keeping myself. And once I lay the final hit, that's time. But we're gonna try.
Oh, come on.
Seraphic storm. Bathe yourself
So remember when I was talking earlier about like this could still.
As long as I'm still
All right.
moving.
Finally. All right. There, that's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Time.
Time.
Yes.
Nicely done.
Oh,
Nicely done.
Oh, man.
Good job.
oh man.
Oh, good recovery.
Wow.
That was kind of spooky there for a second.
Okay, I can feel the power flowing.
Okay, your time was 3:03:16.
Not bad. Not bad. Considering there's a little bit of RNG that was in there,
Is he gone?
considering all of that, I will be happy with the 303.
All he wanted was to survive in the end, didn't he? All the
Well, in the meantime, everybody's very curious about you. Do you have anything you would like to say? Anyone for,
Maybe that's the secret.
you know,
Maybe you need a weak
how to
body
get
be
involved in the
strong in spirit.
speedrunning and as well as your channel?
Yeah, so if you're really interested in the speedrunning, there is a Tri-Ace speedrunning as well as a Star Ocean speedrunning Discord, or just a traditional Star Ocean Discord that includes speedrunning sections for each individual game, and that's where a lot of the speedrunners hang out. And there's also the traditional Tri-Ace where you can get in touch with a lot of those who can help. On top of the fact that you have other games like that. If you're interested in that, I would probably recommend going there, or you can follow me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/midnight_vesper, where I can offer a lot of tips. I can also offer a lot of suggestions, as well as the doc that I'm using right now to really kind of help that vibe going. I highly encourage, if you're interested in any Star Ocean game whatsoever, in terms of speedrunning, whether it's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 when 6 comes out, either this year or next year, you can always check all of that out. And the Star Ocean Discord is also a real place just to kind of mingle with the Star Ocean community, as well as just learn more about Star Ocean as a whole.
I finally avenged my family.
If you want to follow me, I am at twitch.tv/midnight_vesper. Yes.
Done a thing if I were by myself.
I put the link in chat too.
Okay.
I was standing on the shoulders of giants.
Well, on that note, everybody, that was a great, cute little JRPG, the Star Cute show. I was trying to keep up with the Stardew Valley, and then this is Star Ocean kind of idea. Anywho,
Real
go
fast.
ahead, Midnight.
Yeah, thank you so much to Cutie Roo over here for letting me run this game. It's such a great pleasure to showcase Star Ocean. I also host a hotfix show myself called The Bargain Bin. It's every other Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern right here, where we showcase video games that are under $20 USD. So we showcase a lot of good games that if you want to be into speedrunning and maybe don't want to spend that $60, $70, it's a great place to start because we have great games all the time.
And everyone else too.
Exactly. Definitely check out the show. It's on every other Wednesday. The next one's going to be this Wednesday on the 2nd of February.
This is gonna be goodbye for good.
And yeah, just definitely check out Bargain Bin. And we'll be bringing you some more events going on in February. Definitely check out the Unapologetic Black and Fest and Frame Fatales. The Black and Fest will be on their first hotfix, a new recurring hotfix marathon, and their Black runners all front and center in celebration of Black Joy. The first iteration is running on February 12th and 13th for 12 hours a day, and the schedule is going to be released on the 1st of February. And definitely for Frost Fatales, it's through February 27th to March 5th. Use the command FF in chat or go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info. And if you have any ideas for your own show or one-off events, feel free to go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to submit your ideas. Alrighty, well, everybody, y'all stay cute, chat. Love you all. Love everybody, the production, GDQ, Midnight Vesper. Thank you so much for everyone being here. And I had a ton of fun. And we will be back on Friday. Not the 4th, but the 11th. Same time, same place. Anywho, y'all have a good night and a good day to anybody who's on the other side of the world. And y'all take care.